Yes, the boys are back. -1 again. This Irish Billy. What are we gonna do with him?
I don't know, bro. Yo, it's supposed to be the three amigos. Right now, it's
Right.
just me and my homie.
It's the Terror
It's my
Twins.
PNC.
Right. Listen, this is Knock 'em Out the Box, episode 120.
120.
My name is Vinnie Paz. I'm here with my co-host, with the co-most, the Mr. Majestic Left, Right, Left Kid, Mr. Brendan Long.
Yo,
What's the
yo,
word?
yo. What up? What up? What up, man? I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I got something in my eye. Hold
Okay,
on.
okay.
Hold
Hand
on.
grease.
Hold time out.
Time out.
Time out, V.
Taking a knee?
Yo, hold on.
All right,
Hold
take a
wait.
knee, pal.
Uh, I'm back.
All
All right, I'm
right.
back. Nothing
All
happened, right?
right. Right. No, you got your face wiped off and
The,
got some
yeah,
instructions. All
yeah.
right.
Cool.
We're
Cool.
gonna get into that, guys. What happened here? Let's get some news, then let's get to this weekend full of wild shit, actually.
Yep.
Full of it.
Full of it.
So B, I'm gonna answer a question we had that some of our UK fans supplied us the answers to, but now me and you are seeing it in black and white, and we've been wondering for a couple years now. Eddie Hearn has said they've sold more than 60,000 tickets on one day of general sale for the April 26th Chris Eubank Jr. Conor Benn fight at
So this is why
London's
it's happening.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. A full sellout is expected. B, I don't know
So
what
my
Tottenham.
ignorance, let's
Well, it was
just,
mine too. It was mine too. It was
this is a
ours.
huge fight.
The KEOTB ignorance about are these guys' names and do people care over and over and over. We've seen them both fight over there against other opponents, and we said, yeah, there's people there, but these guys are far from stars.
This
But
is
if they
huge.
fight each other,
Huge.
huge. So 60,000 is already one day. I'm not hip to the cap at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You know,
I love
my
that name.
guess maybe it's 80. If it's already sold 60, you know what I mean? But
Well, I have to
but
go to
bro,
the
if it
Google
doesn't
machine.
sell one more ticket and it does 60,000 and 80,000 cap, it's already a success. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And over there, it's in London, B, and it's called Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Hotspur
Just put capacity.
Stadium. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Dude, that's it. 62-8. That's what it
Okay,
seats.
so it basically
It's a
sold out in a
sellout.
day. Yeah, so it's
They
done.
sold a fucking soccer stadium out.
Yeah, unreal.
A footy stadium.
They're gonna play some footy in that, bro.
Hello.
Then have a cracker.
Have a crack after some footy.
The Ring Magazine Fatal Fury City of Wolves card on May 2nd will take place in
fucking
Times
names.
Square,
City of Wolves is gonna be
New
a
York City, and feature 3 fights. Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero, Devin Haney, Jose Ramirez, and Teofimo Lopez, Arnold Barbosa.
So I guess that's not happening on Alcatraz.
Correct. I think they're going to try to do the next Lopez fight there.
Okay.
So that would
So
be.
I'm gonna try, guys. I'm gonna try to go to this. So I hopefully I'll see you guys there. This is gonna be outside.
I don't see a reason why I won't come up for this either.
Because it's in Times Square.
Well, because I don't. The Brooklyn thing throws the plan off when me and you want to go to fights at Barclays, because I'm like, I gotta go Philly to Brooklyn, and then am I gonna go Brooklyn to the island, or Brooklyn home, or Brooklyn to Manhattan and stay at a hotel? It's like it's
so you
weird.
could theoretically. So just on February 1st, Vanessa and I went into the city with. We talk about him all the time. I feel like he's like a fourth member of this show, the Razor.
Yeah, the Razor.
We all went out. His lovely girl, my wife, a couple of other friends. We went out. We got steaks. Watched Benavides, and then we stayed in the city. I might just stay in Times Square that night. Believe it or not.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Just stay over. You know. I mean, for me, it's only a 45-minute train ride home. I just hop on, I can go. But I might just stay in the city that night.
The train, 30th Street to Manhattan is quick, but they don't run that late. You know what I mean?
Right. So if you miss the train, you got to either sprint to it, or wait till.
And that's when I get torn in the thing where I tell you, because I'm fucked in the head, I feel like I have to drive to be in control. Because of my head issues. You know what I mean?
They're putting a congestion tax.
If
to get in and out of Manhattan because of this,
right? And it's a great fight. And in the 3rd round, I have an anxiety attack. I gotta go. You can't do that when you're relying on New York City Transit, Philly, SEPTA, whatever. So this was in my notes that have to do with our reviews this weekend,
Okay.
but we'll just touch on it now. Former unified world champion Jarrett Hurd has announced his retirement from boxing
Thank God.
after suffering a split decision loss to Johan Gonzalez. My notes for the fight, when we get to it, the first thing said Jarrett Hurd needs to retire. So I'm happy that
Yeah.
he's, he shouldn't have fought this fight. He wasn't responding well. All the things that you bring home when you talk about a guy who sees stuff and can't pull the trigger. You
Yeah.
didn't like the way he's responding to punches. The fact that it's a split decision is criminal because
It's
if he
criminal.
didn't have his mind made up, well, this is a good guy. It's a real guy. And I just
Yeah.
almost won. I got another one in me.
I
He
don't think
does.
he almost won.
No, he didn't. I mean, but
Yeah.
SD makes you think that someone's,
Right. Right. But I'm saying you watched it. I watched it.
no, he got drubbed,
He
but
got beat pillar
someone's
to post. Right.
pillar to post.
Did you notice how bad he like puffs up? Like the
Yes,
swelling, just
yes,
it's
all of
not
that.
just actual physical, like, well, I mean, that would be physical resistance, but like
Yeah.
even the way he looks after getting hit, like his
That's
own
how it was
body.
for me, bro. I was like, there was a lot of that. You know, when it's not good, stop this, stop this. I
Correct.
wouldn't have been mad at someone stopping
Well,
that.
no, like, dude, that's what we're talking about. Like, I want you to pay attention to Jose Ramirez body language the next time we see him
I
fight,
will, I will.
and you're gonna go, that's it.
Yeah,
It's the
because
way
I
the
keep saying,
the way
he's not.
the way the eyes look just after a jab, like it's like,
Well,
and
do you know why it seemed a little bit different that I wasn't seeing what you were seeing? Because it's Haney, and I'm like, I think I keep repeating, I'm calling for Haney what I called for with Wilder.
right, right,
This
right,
guy's
right.
cooked and he's going to get packed up. And you're like, don't disagree with you necessarily, but I think he's fighting a shot guy that is just, it's worse off than him, is what you're saying.
I
So
hope I'm wrong, but
no, look,
yeah,
I don't want anyone to be fucking punch drunk or shot and
no,
get hurt. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And if they are and fight one time too much, I think you have people, including yourself, but more so your corner. Jared Hurd's corner should have stopped that at a certain point.
yeah,
He was getting his head flown. I mean, flown in the traditional sense.
yeah,
I
like,
know we use it as slang, but I mean rocked back.
yeah, no, it was like
Now
hitting
your
him,
brain's moving in your head
right,
in ways it's
not
not
good.
supposed to move. Tank Davis says that a rematch with Lamont Roach Jr. is not going to be next at his post-fight press conference after their draw. WBA President Gilberto Mendoza is poised to order an immediate rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach rematch following the hugely controversial moment in round 9. I think it's not going to be this is bad English, not on my part. This is him speaking,
Uh-huh.
Gilberto Mendoza. I it's tough to say because it's wrong. I think it's not going to be no doubt about having a rematch on this. It was a very controversial night. You had sent me something. This is one bit of news in 3 parts. A technical issue. This you want to talk shady business. This game. A technical issue prevented instant replay technology from being utilized when Gervonta Davis took a knee during Saturday's fight, according to the New York State Athletic Commission.
Sure.
B, we bring in instant replay for these reasons
And
that
that very moment,
rarely happen. How often would you say in the states that have it is it used? 6 times a year in major fights? In major fights,
yeah,
I don't mean. I'm sure there's some shit that we didn't even see that's not on TV.
I just sent you something.
Okay,
And
on my phone.
yeah.
Is it because you had told me privately, me and you talking, Tank is crashing out, and when I went on, there was nothing. So someone got to him and deleted everything.
Oh, dude, it's insane. So I'm gonna send you the series of
I
tweets right
well,
now.
no, I saw all that when you said what you just sent me.
You
I
saw?
s- Yeah,
Okay.
because say
All right,
no
so
more,
tell
pushing for the rematch.
right.
Lamont Roach is saying, fuck you mean, pushing N-word. My contract already signed, set for the immediate rematch. Because you put that in there just in case you lost. Only reason we don't fight is because you're scared. So of course, Tank is doing the thing where you go, where was
Bro,
that
he's
energy in the
he's
ring? Look, not a month ago, not a year ago, 2 days ago. Where was that? I'm going to whoop your energy. You a
Right.
bitch ass N word. Blah, 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 blah. Well, who's the bitch ass blank when we were in there mixing and I was hitting you with counters and eating your shots and you couldn't do nothing with me? Why are you the energy of these guys? It's funny to me. I'm a killer.
He erased a
He
lot of
erased a lot because you wrote me. This wasn't today.
yeah, it's the other
Yesterday
day. Yeah.
morning when he
Yeah.
woke up the day, you're like, Tank's crashing out. And there was one thing, and it was Tank being Tank, but it was not crashing out. He's just dumb and rude,
Yeah, no,
stupid,
he's
because he's really
posting
dumb. And
and he's
I just,
posting all of this stuff like AI rules of boxing, which if you guys follow me on Twitter, like I quoted with the WBA rules
yeah,
about taking a knee.
yeah.
Like someone put into
I mean, bro,
AI,
because it's in the Queensberry from like in the 1800s.
bro, if you take a knee, it's a knockdown.
Yes, that's it. Over, guys. Don't
What
write
the
it.
fuck are we doing
When I
here?
wrote it on Twitter, I wrote, don't at me. I don't mean don't at me, don't discuss it. I mean, don't at me about that, about the
Right,
knee. If you want to say Tank won every round, I'll say you're wrong, but feel free to write me. But we're
right.
not going to discuss whether taking a knee is a knockdown. We're not. It's
What are
not
we even doing
going to
here?
happen. I don't know what we're doing here. I
And
don't
I
know
don't
what
give
we're
a fuck
doing here.
if so then the argument goes, well, he didn't punch him, which he did. He hit him
First
with
off,
a
he
jab,
did. He
hit him
landed
with
a
a jab.
stiff jab,
Right,
and he complained about hair grease in his eye, and that could have been that. The hair
right,
grease on the gloves of Roach from all the grease from getting his
right.
shit, and it was bothering you, and you went
And you know
down.
what, man? I'm sorry. Hair grease or not, and you guys write in and yell at me or whatever. He said 2 days ago I got my hair done. That's two sleeps. That's 2 nights on pillows.
That's
I
2 nights with a wave cap on to
right,
protect them from getting banged up.
right. So okay, fine. All right. So hair grease in your eye. That just came out in the ninth.
Right,
So there's no
right,
sweat prior to the ninth.
right.
And if it was bothering you all night, have your corner, wipe it down, shave your head. I don't know, man.
I
That's
also want to add though, B, okay, that the punch didn't land people, which it did, but we're not gonna get. Let's just
right.
say it. Let's just say he did it instead of 3 seconds later. Let's say he did it 90 seconds later.
Doesn't matter.
Guys, this is boxing. He could have landed a beautiful body shot that hurt your rib. You didn't go down, and 90 seconds later, you're like, I'm having a little trouble breathing. I'm taking a knee,
Bro,
and
if
for
you take
whatever,
a knee,
correct, correct. I can't believe we're talking about it.
I can't believe you're talking about this.
But
So
we
Tank,
clearly have to.
so
So whoever's listening that probably agrees
someone
with
put
us.
into Google AI
Yeah.
taking a knee in boxing, and there's some
Mhm.
bullshit explanation from
Yeah.
Google AI, which is not
Yeah.
true.
Right.
Tank took that
Screenshotted it and
screenshot
posted it. Yeah.
and posted it. I quoted Tank with the WBA rules
Right.
and a picture of it.
Right.
That clearly says, and I should have just done the New York State Athletic Commission rules.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
in every fucking rule book.
You're
What the
talking
fuck?
about the
And,
state commission that it was in and the sanctioning
and the
body
sanctioning body.
who he is the champion of.
What are we doing?
What are
And
we doing here,
why are
guys?
we arguing?
And guys,
Ryan Garcia took a knee against Tank. It
yes.
was a knockdown. Tank
Yes.
ran to a corner. Tank had a
Yes.
brain fart, it seemed
Yes.
like, took
Yes.
a knee. Whether it was the jab affected his eye and stung his eye a little bit, whether the hair grease and the jab, because it was a jab, and you see him,
A nice, clean
yeah, and you
jab.
see him go like this,
Yes.
all right, and he takes 2 steps, takes a knee, looks in his corner, hops up, goes to his corner. They wipe his face down. Should have been DQ'd
And give him instructions. DQ right there.
right there.
If Steve Willis is on his square, disqualification and
Steve
new.
Willis fucking choked.
Yes.
He should be suspended
Twice.
twice. He should be brought in for review, interviewed, then suspended indefinitely.
Now
And
Tank is now on my short list. It's a really long list, but I shorten it up for the sake of humor and the show of biggest whiners in sports with
Weiner,
John McEnroe,
Johnny Mac.
LeBron James,
Okay.
Luca,
Okay.
Tank Davis.
Hmm.
All he did when he didn't like something was talk directly to Steve Willis,
Right.
directly to him. No matter what Lamont Roach did, throws an illegal elbow at Lamont Roach first.
Shoulder.
Roach retaliates.
Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, shoulder. Lamont Roach retaliates. He cries to Steve Willis about it. This was a kid We're gonna get into the fight.
Right. But
So look,
yeah,
where do you think this is? So Tank says no, no rematch, at least not now. Then WBA says yes. Then today they're doing the tough guy back and forth when they were just in the ring with each other to do
right,
whatever you wanted under the rules of Queensberry
right.
to each other 48 hours ago. Now the energy's crazy again. I'm gonna catch a body and all of this when you were just in the ring with
Could have
him.
done it.
You could have done it.
Right. So I think, and then also the news came out that the New York State Athletic Commission is now reviewing it. And Lamont Roach tweeted, looks like I'm going to get. Did you see that?
Yes, your man's gonna be 31, 30
Yeah.
and 1 or something.
So he must
That's a
he must be getting word.
Yeah,
I
someone's
mean,
throwing info around, guys, that it could be, when someone pisses dirty and it gets turned into a
yeah.
technical draw or a no
So
contest or a da da
I
da. So what's floating around, guys?
it sounds like the New York State Athletic Commission is look, when stuff like this happens, and I think you guys probably know this, I don't know if you do. What starts to happen is promoters and sanctioning bodies say we won't hold contests in your state anymore. We're not gonna do this in your
Because we don't
state.
want our guy to have to go through that.
Right, which is why you don't often see fights in Texas. You know
Correct.
what I mean? And you don't often see fights in California.
Ask Paul
You
Malignaggi why he didn't want to go to
correct.
Texas,
Right.
and
And we
look what
got we
happened
got
to him.
we got fights coming up in California, but it's if you notice, like we don't really have that many fights in California. You know what I mean? Big fights in California, guys go to Vegas. Because the state athletic commission in California drops the ball a lot. On top of the taxes and everything else that fighters have to pay in the state, same with New York. Guys already don't want to fight in New York because of the taxes here. So if you give guys another reason not to fight in New York,
Right. Now I'm giving you more incentive not to
right,
bring fights here to
right,
Barclays, to MSG,
right to this
to
to this thing in Times Square.
right to the smaller room. And
So who knows what's flying around right now? If
what's flying around is they're pushing to have that because it was called and because instant replay.
and yeah, by the time that this thing is released on Wednesday, this show, there's a chance that this because we record Monday night. There is a chance that this decision is overturned or upheld.
Guys,
There
if that was called correctly, Lamont Roach wins
wins.
a majority decision.
Hmm. Which I had
114.
him. Yeah, I will get into it, but
Yeah, we'll get into that. The
right.
legend Jim Lampley is back. Now, what I had said months and months and months ago, we kept seeing Lamps and we kept hearing him say the words, I'm glad to be calling this. Me and you are doing air high fives, so we get to hear Lamps
Yeah.
again. The fight comes on there, he's nowhere to be seen. We don't know
It was
what country was getting it.
ppv.com. So if you ordered through ppv.com, you were getting Lampley
I ordered all of those fights through
and you
ppv.com
didn't get it.
and didn't get him. So so
I
color
have
me
I
confused.
do have a little knowledge of something about lamps. I'll
Oh,
just tell you right now.
I was just gonna say something awful.
No. But
But
lamps will not work for wages that doesn't deem lamps Lampley worthy.
I'm good
So
with that. I'm all right with that.
Lampley commands a very, very, very high paycheck.
And who was going to be paying him from where?
Right.
The first Ring magazine caught in Times Square,
Has
May 2nd,
so
Jim
for
Lampley.
Jim Lampley at close to 80 years old to cover
Yes,
this
yes, is getting a
outside
bag.
a bag.
We need to talk to friend of the show, Doug Fisher, and figure out how we first heard that only Ring Magazine subscribers will be able to watch Ring Magazine cards. That was when we broke the news about Ring Magazine cards. We have to,
Is this going to be like on a network? Yeah.
right.
Because
Is it going to
this
be
is like way too big for that.
right for people not to see?
Yeah.
So I definitely want to shoot Doug a line and ask him about that. But I'm really happy to be here in Lamps, and as soon as May, it's not too far away. I
Oh,
like this, and I called for this since we're not getting the monster yet. Junto Nakatani versus Ryosuke Nishida is being targeted for June as a WBC and IBF world title unification fight. Nakatani's head coach, Rudy Hernandez, has revealed. So we called for that B when those guys fought recently
Hmm.
at Bantam, and that everyone at Bantam that has a belt Japanese, and we said let's unify all of these over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Should be easy to make. So now there's going to be two, and then unify from there, and then you make the monster fight where one guy,
Yeah, well, did you see Alan Picasso pulled out of
yes. So what are they
yeah.
going to do?
They got
What's his name?
they got
Real quick, right?
Ramon Cardenas.
Yeah, he can fight a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh, some news for my friend B.
Okay.
And can this help them against our guy, Liam Cameron? Ben Whitaker has linked up with new trainer Andy Lee ahead of his rematch with Liam
Okay.
Cameron on April 20th.
Nothing stopping Liam Cameron.
I think Andy Lee is quietly one of the best trainers in the entire
Yeah.
sport.
And he's the trainer du jour right now.
Yes, but he's also schooled in the Crown King.
Sure. But I mean,
So
this don't we see this though? Don't we just you and I have talked about this on this show. Trainers get hot. You know what I mean?
yeah, and then they get their guys lose six in a row, and
And then they're not.
it was like
Like,
every
where's Derek
human,
James?
right? Every human had Freddie for a minute, and then they were like, maybe just him and Manny have a thing,
Right.
you
Like,
know?
yeah, like Buddy McGirt, remember? Like everybody had to have Buddy, and then no one, now you see
Because he
Buddy
like,
coming back.
yes, he rebuilt Arturo, so everyone heard
Right,
like, oh my God, the
right,
guy, the guy looks like yeah, he's got Arturo boxing again. Well, who's ever
right,
thought? Whoever would
right,
have thought he
right,
was
right.
throwing combination, the jabbing, yes, like he said.
I think you kind of have to have like,
We have the soup du jour. Oh, that sounds excellent. Or he said,
uh,
I'll take that. Or
he says, what's the soup of the day? Oh, no, what's the soup du jour? That's the soup of the day. Sounds delicious. I'll have that. Uh,
Keyshawn Davis
totally
says,
redeem yourself.
uh,
Um,
Keyshawn Davis says he wants to fight Andy Cruz before he eventually moves up to super lightweight. That's just a revenge fight instead of,
hate each
maybe
other.
if you're going to move up, get money and unify with other
Right.
guys there instead of fighting Andy Cruz. He's got what, five pro fights? Four, five,
I think
six
that's that
now?
whole animosity because Andy Cruz says
I
that
get
he's,
it, but what do
yeah,
you got to do what's best for you?
right.
Unify another belt, and then 140's a bunch of
I
people up
think
there.
Keyshawn just will fight anybody. That's what it is. Like, I want to
Yeah,
fight
I'm
that
with
guy. I
that.
want to
I'm with
fight that.
that. Oh, this is an odd bit of news. It's not odd to you and I, but it's definitely odd to put out there. A representative for Gervonta Tank Davis reached out to Top Rank after his draw with Lamont Roach to inquire about Vasily Lomachenko's availability for a fight later this year. So they're desperate to not run it back and fight a 37-year-old that's been out for by the time it would happen a year and a half because it's already close
This
to a
is
year.
such a bad look for him this weekend.
I mean, there really is no end to the bad looks. Saying it into the mic. Well, my hair grease. What y'all gonna boo me now?
Yeah,
And I mean, all the behavior,
just
all the
just
just a shit
losing
show.
it.
Our
That dude
guy
crashing out.
crashing out. Our guy Oscar Collazo will defend his unified Ring Magazine, WBA, and WBA strawweight world titles against Edwin Cano in the co-main on the William Zapata Tevin Farmer 2 card on March 29th. I love that. What a card this is
Yeah,
is is shaping up to be. Right
I like
there,
it.
right there. Yo, that's a few guys. By the time you hear this, 3 weeks away, I think. By the time 3 weekends away,
Yeah.
I love that card. I love that fight. Um, and and we said we doubted that fight would get made, the rematch, and they made it and shut us up. And I
Yep.
like being wrong on this show when we murder
Yes.
people. Oh, Eddie Hearn has said that Ray Ford will be on the co-feature for the April 12th Ennis Stanionis card. Henry Lebron, Abraham Nova, and Christopher Diaz are among others as potential opponents. So those guys are all pretty good.
Yeah. That's
They're all like
nice
solid
opponents.
guys. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
mean, I like Abraham Nova just because he has a mascot. I mean,
I
for
want to
that
see,
alone.
yo, if the mascot's there, forget it,
I
kid.
want the mascot to fight Ray Ford. What if it's
I want the mascot to fight the Philly Fanatic.
how dare you? I want him to
How
fight
crazy would
Gritty.
that be?
Gritty and
Yeah.
Abraham. No,
Eh,
what is his name? Supernova. Abraham
Yeah.
Nova's nickname. Isn't that the name of the
That's the name of
mascot?
the mascot.
Supernova. Yeah. Um. Okay.
That's so crazy.
Also on that show, is Super Bantam a clash between Arturo Cardenas, who's good, and Christian Cardo, who's good. Cardo
Yeah.
is trained by Bozy, so those guys are good. That card's great, man.
Yeah.
There's two cards.
We should
The
be
Ray
there.
Ford, yeah. Eddie Hearn. If George Kambosos gets through Daoud Yordan, I think it'll be Kambosos for Hitchens' belt in New York in June. Kambosos has got his mind set on becoming a two-division champion. He thinks he can beat Hitchens. It's a very tough fight, but it's a got good spice between those two as well. Look, I don't know that George Kambosos can even get through Daoud Yordan, and we're going to get to Subriel Matias, which you just watched today and caught up on. Really, he's in line, Subriel, for
Dude, I don't
Hitchens.
want to fucking see Cambozo and Hitchens beats the shit out of that. He beats the tattoos off of that fucking kid.
There's certain news bits that I smile. You know, when you talk to yourself, you know this is
Yeah,
crazy. I shouldn't be smiling,
right.
laughing, nothing. The only thing you should do alone is cry
Why
because you
do you
can't.
know that that's gonna like rib me and annoy me?
Yes. So when I have certain people's names, it's like Jarrell Miller getting another payday,
Yeah.
uh, Connor Ben getting cleared,
And and
after he
and
clearly
Cambosa's getting another title
and
shot.
Cambos is getting
This
Cambos is
guy,
getting no, I knew that this fight before that was gonna get you mad.
bro, I'm telling you right now, he is the worst unified champ of all time. And the fact that he's gonna get a shot
I think Daoud
at a
Yordan fight is too much. That's like at a big place.
I don't think there's going to be a bigger Daoud Yordan fight on that night than me. Maybe Daoud Yordan's mom. But you know what?
Marcos, so Marco, Coach Marcos, who I call the Uruguay Zan, that's his
Right.
new name.
You're a Guizon.
That should be his every coach. Look, you got Bozy Ennis has got a name. You got everyone now. Coaches got nicknames.
Right.
Marcos goes by his real. You know what I mean? His,
Yeah.
but it should be the Uruguay's Coach Uruguay's on. Marcos, tell us if this fucking Daoud Yordan can beat Cambosis. If you don't want us to say what you tell us on the air, no problem.
No problem.
Just say, tell us, but we won't say it on the air
Just,
if you don't,
you
because
know,
we know you know everyone.
you can also make up an
Um,
alias and we'll use
well, no,
that.
I'm just saying we also know he knows
Yeah.
everyone over there,
All
so he
right.
doesn't want to slander. Guys, that's it for
Bro,
news.
I I don't if Cambosis loses to Daoud Yordan, I want to bleep his name off of this show. Like if he makes news, like I ain't even saying his name no more.
Our other podcast be knock them out the knock. So it's knock them out the box, and then Broad Street Breakdown. You know, with their sister shows. Gavin at one point he lifted it, but banned the word Metallica from the show. It lasted a solid, it
Yeah,
lasted. So basically, what Cambosis needs to do for us to speak about him again is to not only beat this Dawood, needs to pack him up and then get a huge win. If not, he's banned from the show.
banned forever.
How do you like that rule, B?
I like it.
Are we standing on that or no?
Yeah, yeah. We'd have to like unretire it. You know what I'm saying? Like if he does something really special. Um. So how do you want to do this? You want to just get right into Tank Roach?
My
Um.
mic became unplugged. Check, check,
You're
check.
good.
I'm back now. Sorry, y'all.
Back and better than ever. It's all right.
My
Little technical difficulties.
Well, I was reheating the coffee and it unplugged when
Oh, you do that? I punished myself with cold coffee.
once it hits that. Well, I'm not a coffee drinker, so I'm already down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I drank too much
Uh,
coffee today. My stomach's bothering me.
well, let's do it like this, B. I'm gonna rip through some stuff really quick. Um, that we mentioned, and we'll dig in, obviously, like we always do. Saturday, afternoon on the zone from Belfast Island.
Oh,
Lewis Crocker, Patty
I left this
Donovan.
off. Fuck, dude.
Okay, cool. Bro, IBF welterweight eliminator. I said, remember, I was like, B, they're both
Yeah,
undefeated. We think of them both as domestic guys.
right.
The winner, if someone gets dog walked or something, do I believe they should be
Paddy Donovan.
do I believe they should be ready for a title shot? No, but I said they're a real guy. Yo, it was a fun scrap. These maniacs decided to stand in the middle of the ring and sling the dogs. To me, Patty Donovan was getting the better of the exchanges.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The ref took 2 points from him from headbutt butts. B. Look, these weren't intentional, and the ref was absolutely
Yo, this ref
too
sucked.
involved in this fight. I hate those look at me refs, and he's one of them. I wish I knew
Yeah.
his name. I should have written it down. Um, Look, the bell
Oh yeah,
rings,
Patsy
and
Donovan, you fucking
yeah,
bastard.
does he hate where Patty's from or something? Because there's like northern and southern beefs, and there's IRA beefs. You know what I'm saying? There's
He's
who
from
right.
Limerick. Yeah.
So the bell rings at the
I'm
end of
gonna
the.
punch you in your fucking face.
You do a good Irishman. I don't. Bell rings at the in the end of the eighth while they're slinging. Patty lands a shot after the bell that drops Crocker. Donovan and his team start to celebrate. Both corners jump up on the ring apron. It's fucking chaos. B, talk to me.
All right.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
It was loud in there. He couldn't hear it. The referee,
Agreed.
Marcus McDonald, he sucked. He was
Sucked
way too far away.
the
He should have
pits.
heard the sticks. He should have been close. When that bell rang, you hop in the middle when a guy's rallying. Patsy Donovan was beating Lewis Crocker post to post, and
I
the
love
bell
it.
rang. Throws a shot, hits Crocker. Crocker's looking for a fucking way out. He Montel Griffin's face first into the
Yes, he
fucking
does.
canvas.
Yes, he
Acts like
does.
and then boom. What do we see? They took it from Paddy.
They
They
did.
took the,
He was crying. He was so upset. He was
it was
devastated.
you know what though?
One
The
of the
the court
most
of public
devastating.
appeal in this sport will carry you,
It
and
will.
I think that they make that do that one again. He beats the shit out of Lewis Crocker, who I don't like Lewis Crocker's attitude. All right,
I don't like him either. They came out today and said we will not give him a rematch. We're taking the championship. B just stated it loud and clear. The court of public opinion. Those dudes will get slaughtered, not just by us,
right.
but by people with names.
This guy's a
Uh,
fucking dick. Give the guy a shot again. He fucking kicked your ass. Um, I don't know, man. I'm disgusted for
I'm
Paddy.
sad. I'm fat. Sorry. I'm sad for Patty Donovan. He did really good. He looked good. Um, he- he's tough. I
Yeah,
want to see him again,
me too.
regardless of what happens. Um, does that win? Because we believe he won. Forget what
Yeah.
does that. Are you a top 10 guy now? Yeah. Should you be fighting for a belt now? Not to me,
No,
but
no.
he should
Get him on my
fight.
TV again, though.
Get him on my TV against a guy we know, a test at 47.
Right.
Not how he is now, but how they were using Jose Pedraza for a couple of
Right.
years. A guy like that. Not I don't mean him, guys. I mean a guy like that, a 47.
Yo, Crocker, man, be a man.
Run it back, my
Run
guy.
it
You were
back.
getting beaten up. That guy was not a dirty fighter.
No, come on.
Intended none of the things that happened. He had been 2 points were taken. Just awful, awful refereeing by what's his
Terrible.
name again?
Marcus McDonald, he sucks.
Okay, Saturday night on the zone.
At night.
Coliseo Tomas Dones, Fajardo, Puerto
Dunk, dunk,
Rico.
dunk, 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 dunk,
Our
dunk,
guy
dunk, dunk,
Corey
dunk, dunk.
Erdman, Raul El
Yeah.
Diamante Marquez, and Al Bernstein on the call. I was
I
happy to
know.
see
It's
this.
fucking
It was
great, right?
great,
What a
great, great.
surprise.
Look, B, real quick before we get into our guy Subraya Matias, this Javier Fortuna shows up on my screen. Neither of us knew. He's fighting Alfredo Santiago at 140 pounds. He comes in 7 pounds overweight.
He got
A full
confused.
a full weight class over. This guy was small at lightweight, this
He's like,
Fortuna,
hey, pa, I
wasn't
thought it was fucking welterweight, not
I
junior
thought it was
welterweight.
welterweight, bro.
Hey, it's fucking welterweight, papa.
Bro,
Oh,
47.
come on, man. What you mean you're on your welterweight? Get
And
the fuck out of here, man. Come
this
on, you're gonna
this
fight me
tail
or
of the
what?
this tail of the tape also says this Fortuna is 33 years old. If he's 33, I'm classically handsome. We both know that's crazy. Now are Dominicans getting like Cubans?
They've been like that.
Where
Danny Almonte, kid. What are you
yes,
talking about? Danny
yes.
Almonte,
He had a
17 in the
beard.
little league.
He
Yeah.
had a beard. The guy had a
Kids
beard and his
kids
kid.
kids popping 95.
Who's the bully that bullies Bart and he's got a kid?
Ha ha. Nelson
No, that's
Muntz.
Nelson. The homie with the bald head has a kid.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Part
know
of
who
the
I'm
crew,
talking
right?
about?
Yeah,
He's part of the crew. He has
yeah,
a
yeah,
kid that looks just like him. That
yeah,
was
yeah,
Danny.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
Subriel Matias, 21-2, 21 KOs, guys. Every win is by knockout. So he had a little bump in the road with the Liam Paro thing that really hurt B and I, but still a gun.
Motherfucker's got a
Um,
bump on his head after this fight.
yes. Gabriel Goyaz, Venezuela. He prefers to be called
Goyas.
Goyaz. So 30-3, 17 KOs. Good fighter. Second round, early candidate for round of the year for me. Look, Matias' offense is his defense, B. He's in the pocket. He's in front of
Bro,
you.
your man stands extra square and just slings, as you say, slings them dogs. That's it. That's what he does.
Look, it's just a matter of if you're capable of dealing with his power and your pressure, B.
He
Because
gets hit.
what
He's
he gets
fun.
hit.
Fun
He's
while he
fun. Liam
lasts.
Paro clinched. He threw everything off because he's
Yeah.
a rhythm guy. Look,
Yeah.
Goyaz stood there with them and went toe to toe. Round three might have been better than round two. Just great stuff if you're a
Mhm.
fan of sick maniacs. This is the Subriel Matias we championed for the last 4 years. Matias let his shit fly in the fourth to the point where it looked like to me that the ref might stop
Yeah.
it. And this maniac Goyas comes back late and lands a couple
Well,
big
big
shots.
ones.
Unreal. Goya's eye was an absolute mess. He's going to the doctor and in Spanish basically be like, no, 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 I'm good. Actively
Right.
convincing him.
Right.
The
Yeah. I'm
doctor is
fine.
falling for the salesmanship. He's
Right.
looking
Right.
at the
Right.
guy. It's a wreck. It's a wreck. This guy is a charming son of a bitch from Mexico. And this doctor's like, all right, you convinced me, even though it's hanging out of its socket and he looks like a horror movie. So the doctor lets it go on. Look, this is my opinion, B. I don't know if you thought about this when you were watching it, okay? I don't know if you thought about this at all. I just want to say that Goyas is tough as nails. I want to say this is a really good comeback win because Goyas is good for Subriel Matias. But it's my opinion that the Maxim Dadashev fight was and is in the back of the mind of Subriel Matias and
Yeah.
some of these performances. Guys, Maxim Dadashev was Buddy McGirt's student.
Yeah.
He passed away after
After.
Buddy stopped it, so it was no one's fault.
Right.
Buddy stopped it. They walk him. How many feet did he get? B 5 feet,
Yeah.
6 feet from the
But
ring, and he starts vomiting and then collapsed.
yeah.
He ends up dying from the injuries. Guys, B and I know pro fighters and what this can do to you. This is just my opinion, B, because he was hurt badly and cooked. And I saw Matias, who was not, he wanted the corner or the ref to stop this.
Yeah.
That's just that. Look, this is again, this is just my opinion. Post fight, Matias says, "Eat your song. Come on, motherfucker." So, guys, the translation is he wants Hitchinson next.
Yeah. Ichenson.
That's look a clash of styles.
I love that fight.
I
Make it.
love that fight because I think there are openings in Hitchinson's defense.
I just
Um,
think it's openings in his activity where
yo,
he could be overwhelmed by a guy like he's really got to be on his square.
Matias is a buzzsaw.
Right.
Paro was able to smother it and
Right.
clinch. And look, respect to him for doing that because we always say about guys that are buzzsaws that get stopped. Yo, it's your job to figure out how to stay the buzzsaw.
Right.
You're allowing this to happen. You're allowing this guy to hit him in the fucking ding dong. Do something. Throw elbow. Let's get Philly old school on him, Benny Briscoe. Do
Right.
something to be like, yo, every time you clinch, I might throw a knee. I might knee you in the
This is
ding
see,
dong.
this is what's wrong with your city. Fuck it, I might fucking throw
Oh,
a
that's a
knee. I might
stray.
fucking do this. I might do
That's a
that.
stray. I don't like that
I,
went
you
over.
know, I this fucking Philly attitude. You
So it's
know,
your belief that it's the Philly in me is why I said hit him in the ding,
I I,
knee him in the ding dong.
you would eye gouge, throw sand in someone's eyes.
Look, you use the thumb to poke him in the
There
eye
you
with a
go.
jab.
You that's not you're not above any of that.
I'm not.
Would you take
I'm
a
not.
chomp? Would you ever take a chomp on
But
someone?
hey, okay, can I just throw this in there before we cover it? Tank Davis thought about biting Lamont Roach at one point in the fight.
You saw it too.
100%. He was so fucking close to taking a
Okay,
chomp.
thank you.
No one talked
I
about it.
can't fucking believe you just said that.
No one talked about it. Guys,
You Philly
wallahi,
chump
we did
taking
not,
some bitch.
wallahi, we did not say this to each
We
other.
did
This
not.
is the first time. I
I
said, that
saw you
motherfucker
see his
almost hit
eyes
him.
like he's so mad and so
Mhm.
angry and so
That
frustrated.
he couldn't get his shit off, that he almost fucking
Right.
took a chomp, and no one's saying anything. My first note, guys, moving on to the pay-per-view, same night. So if you didn't see any of these cards, guys,
In
throw them.
fairness, your your city mate,
Mm-hmm.
Danny Garcia, got a chomp taken out of him by that.
He did.
Remember Yvonne Redcatch bit him?
Yes, I do. A
Yeah, and he
lot of
didn't bite him
people.
back. Would you bite some? I'd bite some. If you bit me,
I
I'd
don't know if I'd bite back. I'd do something. I'd headbutt you
I
in the
would bite
nose. I'd kick you
bite
in
you
the ding
back.
dong.
I'd
I would
bite you
def
back.
I would do so. I would do whatever I thought hurt
I
worse.
think actually I'd be shocked.
I might kick you in the ding dong or
How shocked
headbutt
would
you
you
in the
be if you were
nose.
in a professional bat and someone bit you?
I probably bit if I was rumbling in the street and someone bit. So I don't
I
know about a
got bit.
prize fight. Did you? You
Yes,
deserve
I
to get
got
bit.
bit. I had to go to the fucking hospital.
Did you get rabies?
Did it, I did I didn't get the rubies.
No.
No. But I shocked and it was on my leg, AO,
Hmm.
through a pair of jeans and I
Yeah.
it got all fucking mangled. I had to go to the fucking ER.
Yeah, you were probably up to something. That's why. Of
Well, I can't really I'd be incriminating myself if I,
course. Of
you
course
know.
you were. Of
But
course you were. You're
I
a
got
menace.
it the incriminating part happened post getting it getting bit.
Likely story. Saturday, March 1st, same day, guys. PBC pay-per-view / Amazon Prime pay-per-view. Barclays Center, Brooklyn, New York. My first note we already spoke about. Jared Hurd needs to retire.
Yep.
Julian J Rock Williams versus Yoenis Tejas, 154. Hey, Tejas a really good, solid prize
He's
fighter.
good.
Yeah, J Rock to me showed little glimpses of who he was years back, but Tejas
Yes.
just had too much tools in the
This was
toolbox.
sad to me to watch.
When guys lose, big, you talk about this a lot, a lot. You go to this well, but not too often because it happens. When guys lose even half a step, it means everything.
Sure.
You get hit with shots that wouldn't have gotten hit with just 18 months ago.
Right.
You see openings but can't pull the trigger. He took him 12. So if Jay wants to, you said it was sad, that absolutely means you want him to
I
retire.
want him to retire.
He took him 12. If he wants to hang around, he can. I'm not saying what I think. I'm just saying
I don't think
going
there's
12.
too many of those, and we start to talk about like not good things with fighters. You
Agreed.
understand
I,
what I'm
I
saying?
know J Rock. I love him. He's smart.
Right.
He doesn't drink. He doesn't do drugs. He doesn't party. He's been smart with his money. I don't want to tell his, you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean, anything personal, but all those things are good things. So I'll gladly tell them. He's Muslim. He observes Ramadan. There's no funny business going off with him. He's been super smart with his money. Um, he got some nice paydays. When he was
Sure.
on that run and was champion, he was the
Yeah.
real guy, guys.
Right.
The real guy.
Yeah.
That
World
was the
champ.
guy. Um, I personally think we'll see him again. I'm not saying we want to, or
Mm.
I'm not saying what he should do. It's up to him and Breadman. Hey, Tejas is good. I
Yep.
think for that, you know what I mean? But we got our eye on him, guy. He's not a stamped Pazzi prospect yet, but the way they're
He's
moving
good.
him, they're gonna move him with it because J Rock can fight. His next fight will be against another guy on this
Yeah.
level of good. And if he does the same things, he's gonna get stamped soon. But now it's just our eyes on him, both of us. Albert Puello, Sandor Martin, Pazzi picks, strikes again. My pick was Sandor Martin wins this fight and gets hosed. Sandor Martin won this fight and got hosed. Two good fighters, two awkward styles. We didn't know what to
Yeah.
expect.
I got an opinion about this.
Talk to me.
Sander
Talk to him.
Martin will never win favorable or close decisions in this country.
No.
He is a pick and peck Spanish style guy. That's
Yes.
how those very European style.
A
He's
little
a
surge, a little Maravilla minus power.
yeah, mine is but Vinny, it's more focused on like they point fight. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's
it's no, it's
I
very
touch you, I
Euro.
touch you, I touch you, I touch you,
But
and
he was throwing a nice double jab and straight left.
it's not favorable for judges. He does weird shit. He's awkward. He's hard to see, I think, from the judges table. You know what I mean? I'm not making excuses here. What I'm saying
A
is
little bit
this style is not conducive to what
to
we're
being
accustomed
American,
to what to being in Mexico, America, Canada, and
North American
North
style, and what
America.
they
Yeah,
like and what
we
they
are
like.
not accustomed to this. This is not Sandro Martin will not win favorable decisions here. If I was him, I'd stay in Europe.
Puel didn't like what was happening to that
No,
double
he
jab
didn't.
right hand. He started to clinch to make sure Martin didn't get into a rhythm. There was some good chess match stuff there, feints, throwaway jabs. I like all that stuff from Martin. It's why I like him and think that he won most of his losses. He's
Hmm.
really crafty.
He
He
has
makes you miss with the head
million
movement.
fights.
Yeah, it was like 46, 47,
All those guys
48.
do. They have a lot
Yeah,
of fights.
crafty guy. He moves his head well, then cracks you with that straight left, throws a left uppercut and right hook to the body that's beautiful. He loves that combination. Look, Puel's used to dictating what happens in there, and
Yeah.
Sandor Martin was setting traps and controlling the pace. Really good performance. It wasn't close to me. 116, 112, Sandor Martin. My prediction was a Martin win and a robbery. I believe that is what happened. I don't know that you do. Judges had a
I don't think it was
150.
a robbery. Like I said, it's just such an unfavorable style for this hemisphere.
Well, the judge had it 115, 113 Martin, saw a little bit more my way.
Right.
Other judge had it 115, 113 Puello. Another judge had it 116, 112 Puello, whoever that was.
I don't know how you find 8 rounds
SD
for
for
him.
Puello. They
Yeah.
robbed Sandor Martin like I said they would. I don't know how you bet this if you're degenerate. What's our buddy's name on Twitter? Mike that bets everything. If we pick a
Manning, yeah.
robbery, then what do? I guess you just pick the robbery. Meaning,
Yeah.
if you listen to me, you bet on Albert Puello, correct? Because I said
Yes.
this. So if we predict, hey guys, a robbery's coming, then you listen to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
All this is bragging rights when we pick a robbery because nothing good comes of it for us in
no.
the sport. But if you picked Puello, because I said he would get a gift, and he did. So, all right. Anything else about this fight? B? So just
Nah.
stay out of the U.S. because you
I
don't want
I
to.
would if I was him. Fucking this is he's just gonna get jobbed here. That next fight, Jose Valenzuela Rayo, what the fuck are you doing? That's what his new nickname is gonna be against Gary Antoine Russell, who Alberto Puello beat his last time out, and Vegas had Rayo and Gary Antoine Russell almost even, right?
It was an even fight. We said this is a 50-50 fight, and it shouldn't be because Ryo's that much better.
Right, which I guess he's
I
not.
just wanted to say something, though, before we break the fight down. Gary Antoine Russell losing a title fight against Puello, only to be rewarded with another title fight for a different title in his next fight,
In his
or
next fight.
second to next fight. Second fight is diabolical. Look, B, I want to ask you something. The first, so this is a long question, and then I'm going to let you go. The first thing I noticed was how much stronger Russell was. I'm not talking about punching power. I just
Yeah, just
physical strength.
he's a specimen.
Yes, pushing Ryo back, roughing him up. Russell wasn't landing anything significant, but he was throwing tons of punches, and Ryo was just waiting on him, which is fine if you're looking for the counter. But he slipped shots and then keep the gun in the holster.
I don't
Look,
know what
Russell.
the fuck he was doing.
Hey, Russell
What
has
is
zero. Russell has
yeah,
zero defense.
right?
Ryo couldn't exploit it because he's got no mustard on his shot.
No,
Nothing to keep him honest. I'm hoping you can help
he
me.
he
I'm
looked like
hoping.
he was overthinking in there. You know, like, oh, I'm gonna do
Listen,
this. I'm gonna.
I want to ask you something, and I'm going to let you run because this is how I saw it. When is the last time, or any time at all, where physical strength won someone a fight like this? Not defensive wizardry, not beautiful boxing, just a markedly different level of brawn is what.
Um, every Sean Porter win. You know what I mean?
You gave me. That's the best answer that there is out there.
I'm sure if we look up some heavyweights, it's weird when you see the smaller guys almost fighting like
I usually don't count them in anything we
a
do.
husky heavyweight. But yeah, like that's how Sean Porter would win.
That's
There
the
wasn't
answer.
really anything.
That's the answer because I mean, I've gone on
Yeah,
record on the show. I never thought he was good, but he
No.
won fights
Right.
the way I asked you. I asked you a question.
Yeah.
Physical strength that you didn't watch Sean Porter and say this guy's a whiz defensively.
Right.
You didn't say he's an offensive whiz. It was basically uh, you know, jab, something behind it, headbutt, clinch.
Right.
Jab, something behind it, headbutt, clinch, rough you up.
Rough you up.
Physically, like you
Yeah.
said. So that's the answer.
Hmm.
It's a very Sean Porter-esque style. It's
Yes.
not pleasing to me.
No.
Um,
No, and it's so weird that he's trained by his formerly by his dad, rest in peace, and now by his
yes,
brother, who
yes.
those Gary Russell
Was
was
the
a
the 180 of this style.
total
You
opposite. Gary
total out.
Russell was all of us as fight fans wanted to see Gary Russell fight 3 times a year.
Yes.
Tons of fun to watch,
Yep.
power, speed. I remember in the Olympics,
Short, crisp
yeah,
shots.
he sucked down too much and passed out at the Olympics, and they had to withdraw from the Olympics. I was heartbroken for him.
Yeah.
And then as he became a pro, you got so mad at him because he fought once a year, demanded big fights, refused to fight on a normal schedule, pissed promoters off, pissed booking agents off, pissed possible opponents off in the division. Fought Loma, got whooped up by Loma. I know a lot of people, including myself, said that fight might have been closer had Gary Russell had a normal schedule, you know what I mean, and fought more than once. But remember, he was fighting like every 18 months, 2 years. You completely forget about him, and then
Activity matters in this sport, guys.
activity matters.
Don't think it doesn't. Look at Tank.
And then, right. And Loma kicked the shit out of him all over the place, wasn't even close.
No. Battered
Um,
him.
battered him.
I had it 120, 108, Gary
That fight?
Antoine Russell. I
Oh,
didn't.
this Valenzuela fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Sorry, guys. I went off on a tangent.
no, no. I asked you to.
Yeah.
Bro, I how do you shut someone out and be a physical specimen? And I'm like, I just don't see it.
Because Rayo's performance was so bad and forgettable that exactly what you said. What are you doing? Like imitating Floyd but not throwing the Chris shots back? Like
I
doing
don't know.
weird defensive moves?
You slip a shot and keep the gun in the holster when this guy's got no defense?
Completely committed where you can hit him with a counter shot and move, and he didn't do anything. I don't know, bro. Honestly, they need to go back to the drawing board, figure out what's going on. Uh, Props to Gary Antoine Russell. Good for
Yeah, for
him
just
stepping up and getting
bulldozing this guy.
bulldozing him and getting it, and hopefully he can get a rematch for himself against Puello.
Because
And
he's got a belt now, Puello. Even though I think he lost, he did it on paper.
right,
So now
so
you got
yeah,
Puello and Russell both with belts, and
they can
fight
unify.
that fight was close and it was a split decision. I
Right,
didn't think it was as close as a split decision. I think Puello put it on
but
him,
that's
and
but but that's a unifier.
yeah, no, so that's why you have to make it, even though you know what I mean. And
Yeah,
I don't like Puello's style's awkward. I just don't think much of Gary
me
Antoine
neither.
Russell, guys. I'm sorry.
And I
I
didn't.
don't
I
know how
said it on
you
last episode.
I don't know how you 12-0 somebody, and I'm still not impressed with you,
Yeah,
but I'm just not. It's impressive that you're strong as fuck 140 and you look
right.
like a 140 bodybuilder, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
you bulldozed someone. But I mean, it's like, bro, someone with a little bit more mustard on those shots. Look, Puello already did it, so I don't really have to get into this on how you beat him. Yeah, just look at Puello and what he did.
right. All
The
right.
main event, guys, Tank Davis, Lamont Roach, WBA lightweight championship.
Let's put it
Shout
out
out,
there.
shout
Good.
out to Lamont Roach for showing that if you have a sturdy chin and a high ring IQ, this guy is a one-trick pony. So big shout outs to Lamont Roach, who we essentially called a no-hoper and loved the under. Both
Vegas,
B and I.
Vegas called him a no hoper. All betting 1900 we saw.
By the time of the fight, he was
14,
19 to 1.
19,
It
19 to 1,
moved. It was 14 to 1 when it
14 to 1.
started. He jumped to 19 to 1, and it was 8.5 over and under. By everyone's calculations, he was getting packed up and packed up early.
Got to talk
Um,
about Tank putting butts in seats. This has to be
yes,
reported on.
it
This
has
is
to
the
be.
second largest Barclays crowd,
Next
only
to
to
Rolling Stones
next thing. So, guys, Tank is a legitimate ticket seller.
in
He's
America.
he's a live gate guy. This
Yeah.
is huge. Um, that's a
We'll
lot
see.
in
We'll
that
see the
arena.
numbers. We'll see the numbers on pay-per-view.
Pay per view.
That's
I don't think the pay-per-view numbers will be great. I hope I'm wrong.
I think they'll be the shits
Yeah, I don't
for what they pay them. That's not look, guys. If you
shouldn't
have a
be 80
paper,
bucks, dude.
I'm gonna say 200,000, and that's a lot. If
Right.
it's under, I won't be shocked. My
What do
over
you think
under
a fair price would be? Not a turkey price, a fair price.
a fair price for thirty
For
nine ninety nine.
39 to 49, right? Anywhere in that range.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
I concur. That's what I was going to say.
If it's another champion, there's three other guys that he should have fought instead of a guy a weight class under him that he may come up.
Right.
If it's 50, 55, 59, 95, it was a unification fight.
Right.
A guy in Lamont Roach coming up who's not ranked there. He's a champion in another division.
Yep.
At 135, he is a nothing, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. He never fought there. He
Right.
wasn't ranked by any sanctioning body at the weight because he doesn't fight there. He has a belt at 130. Um, Look, Tank Davis just doesn't throw punches, and when he does, he fully
You
expects you
said
to go down.
this 3 fights ago.
Correct.
You said what's going to happen with him is that there is someone that's going to come in and just do enough light work over the first half of a fight. He's not going to be able to get the guy out of there, and they're going to bank enough rounds on him where there's going to be no choice but the judges to give it to the other guy.
Correct. When
Now,
you don't go down past a certain round, of course, he's clueless. He
I
can't
can
make
tell you when it
adjustments. He
was.
looks befuddled. He looked befuddled to where we both agree we saw him frustrated enough to almost bite this guy. He didn't. I'm being clear. I'm not slandering, no
Bro,
libel.
seventh round. Go watch the seventh round. His entire attitude changes because he expected to get this 130-pound guy out of there. The seventh round, you can see Tank go, what's going on here? And you can see
Can we?
Roach going, I ain't going nowhere. I've
Yep.
taken his best shots.
Yep.
He ain't putting me down.
For what it's worth, I think that's actually what he was saying to them because they were drawing
Jawing back and forth.
all night. Big. Now can we put something to bed? The myth that this kid has an underrated ring IQ, but we don't see it because he's a KO artist. Let's bestow a new nickname onto Lamont Roach. Lamont the Mythbuster
Mythbuster.
Roach Jr. Because he destroyed the myth that Tank is a wizard in there, but you don't see it because he doesn't need to because he packs you up, which he
Bro,
does. He packs everyone up. But the thing was, yo,
right.
when I said what I said, you said, well, you know what I mean? Hey, Vinny said that if you confuse him and you hang around
Yeah.
long enough, this is going to happen. Everyone's response to me saying that is, no, bro, I'm telling you, he's got an underrated ring IQ. They're bestowing
Bro, I'm
this
shitting on people. I don't know if you
Turnell.
saw my Twitter. I'm going
You
wild.
murdered everyone. Everyone was catching strays. I love when you do it. You kept it funky. It was not emotional. It
Nope.
was all rooted in.
Bad boxing takes.
We have no
I'm
skin.
coming for your neck if you
We
have
have
bad
no
boxing
skin
takes.
in the game to root against Tank. We said on the show we like him and think he's good. We don't think what
We want to
you
see him
think he
fight
is.
somebody.
We want to see him fight real guys, and we believed that he has avoided high level competition for a very specific reason. We have seen it. And what happens is the shit that happened with Mike. You
Right.
forget that Franz Botha had fucking Mike befuddled because
Right.
he landed maybe the prettiest right hand ever thrown because it was about a 4-inch punch.
Punch.
And the
Right.
dude was sent into the fucking
Shadow
nether
realm.
regions.
Right.
Right. Right. So you forget the other rounds. You
Right.
forget these rounds that happened with other guys where you go, oh, I see that Mike's beatable. And
Right.
then the fucking guy's afro flies off of his head to expose a bald head and it lands on someone in the third round. And
Right.
everyone, short-term memory, bro, in this
Yeah.
sport. In this sport, there's short-term
Look,
memories.
man, Tank's
Lamont,
team,
the
the
Mythbuster
Mythbuster. I love it.
Roach,
You should tweet that and tag
130
him.
pounds, moved up, 8 shots, smiled, stood in the pocket, did beautiful work.
This is
Look,
a guy who's not the most athletic guy. He's not the fastest guy. He's
no,
a well-schooled coach's son.
yes,
Okay. This kid lives in the gym.
does everything good,
Does
nothing
it
great.
nothing great. This guy is a guy that many pundits were surprised, got a world title, and was like, wow, he really worked his way and got a world title. He's a
Yes.
good,
Blue collar, lunch pail, son of a trainer,
right,
all of the fundamentals are there.
right,
You would want him showing your kid how to
right.
throw the jab right here.
This is not like a crazy athletic guy that
No, no, there is not blinding hand speed. There is not one
no.
punch power here. This is
Only
what
got
big
10 knockouts at
right
30.
at 30. Now you're up against a guy with a chin and Tank, and he
Right.
hurt Tank at one point. He
Absolutely
hurt him.
hurt him.
I don't mean he was on Queer Street.
No, pull
He
counter
fucked
hurt
up.
him.
He hurt him. Look, him staying
It's the
busy,
shots you
him
don't
having a
expect, the
chin.
shots you don't see.
Correct. Look, I think this was great stuff from Lamont Roach. He sat in there. All the myth. I really go in on it. You're a little bit easier on Mike. I really go in about Mike and say when you're not scared of Mike,
Oh, I'm with you.
the guys that beat him were the ones who were like, okay, you're a guy, I'm a guy. If I get knocked out,
Right.
this is boxing. Let's go.
Correct.
I don't care,
Correct.
bro. You're from Brownsville. I
Right.
don't care that you
We have
packed up X amount of guys.
all that staring shit before the, you know what I mean?
All of
Yeah.
that. If you don't crumble, you and I have spoke about those dudes who grew up. It doesn't matter where you're at in the world.
Doesn't
If
matter.
you grew up in Syria or somewhere war torn, or in an Arab country that was war torn, or the Ukraine, or some bro, you don't care. You think someone they thought Curtis Stevens thought Triple G gave a fuck that he was from Brownsville, Brooklyn. That place is fucking Beverly Hills compared to where he comes up.
Yeah, right. Like
It's a
this is
joke.
remember that's where this is sport.
Yes, and I'm not putting this on Tank or the Mont Roach here. I'm
Right.
saying that myth
But
of
I just
I
think
am this thing.
Lamont Roach was smiling in Tank's face at every press conference.
He knew
And
something.
I heard today from I was listening to our friend of the show, Calix Boxing. Okay. And
Shout out Calix.
he does like a the name of his podcast is Hispanics Causing Panic.
Yeah,
You
it's
know, like the it's a take on the moniker of what the hell is his name? The
Kid
Hispanic.
Frost.
No, the Hispanic Causing Panic was the
Oh, the
fighter.
fighter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there was the
So
Kid Frost album too.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
they have a show, and he said he mapped it out, and he said it really nice. He said, "Look, Tank is a guy that ran over people at a bus stop. It got taken care of. Tank is a guy that shows up 3 hours late to a press conference. It gets taken care of. Tank has been pampered in life since no one's doubting Tank had a tough upbringing, right? But he's
No,
been a pro since he's 18. He's 30 now.
12 years.
So for 12, 13 years as a
Yes.
pro, he's been catered to, coddled,
And
and
a
taken
little at the tail end of the amateur career. So you can
correct.
go a little bit
Been
longer than
taken
that. It
care
might
of.
be 15 years.
Calix's point was he's going to get in there, and what happens is when you're inside there and someone is someone going to take care of you? On Saturday night, Steve Willis took care of him.
Correct. The New York State
State
Athletic
Athletic
Commission
Commission
took care
of him. So for Tank to crash out like he did, like you and I have seen, and watching this is because now that thing we talked about before, the court of public opinion, the court of public appeal, he's losing that. And people are like, nah, bro, you still lost. You know, you have your Tank diehards like, nah, man, he needed a break, so he just took a knee, and nah, that's not really a knockdown. It's like,
Yes.
you
Yes.
don't watch boxing, you watch Tank.
Correct.
You don't know shit about boxing, you know shit about Tank. It's like when unnamed record producers post boxing stuff on their IG and I have to block them because I go, yo, Vinny, man, I'm gonna fucking while out on this dude. Because it's like, there was no one like Mike. And you're like, but there was.
Yeah. 6 of them.
Plenty. I mean, there's plenty of guys like,
Yeah.
I mean, you could post like Ali and say, there was no one like Ali. And I go, you're right.
You're right. Change the world.
Change the world.
In and out of the ring.
You could say, there was no one.
Said person who you blocked posted about this. And in those comments, almost word for word were what you said. Nah, man, he just needed a break. That's not a knockdown. And I go, do I engage in this
You
and my
can't.
brain explode or you can't?
You can't. You have to, you know what you engage with? People who really consider themselves either
Correct.
pundits, fighters,
Correct.
or otherwise. That's
Correct.
because you know what, Vin? You know too much to engage with the average.
I based one average person, and it wasn't on Twitter. It was on someone I know in real life's Facebook. One of their friends gave
Right.
an awful take, and if you're just in the right mood at the right time, you
Yep.
can't help yourself.
Yep. You j-
And they literally just didn't respond
right.
because
I'm
they
kind of
knew
like
this guy's cooking. So
it.
there's nothing I can say back to
There's
that.
and if you post that thing, it's on my. You can find it on my page. The WBA rules just shuts
Yeah,
everybody down.
just give your Twitter again because when you
Oh,
when you go
at the
off,
Killer B24 on Twitter. Yeah.
yeah,
If you post the WBA rules, there that's it. There's no question. There it is, black and white in print. If you take a knee, and by the way, guys, if you've watched boxing for more than fucking 2 minutes, you know you can't just take a break in the middle of the fight. So get back into this fight. We see Tank throwing like 19 punches around, which is well under the average. That's like heavy. That's like slow heavyweight
that's a
numbers.
slow heavyweight.
I mean, guys, this is a guy not working. This is a guy saying, I'm going to rely on my power. I think the power comes with Tank after he does good work, when he actually, boxes and does work and sets things up. Vinny's called this for the last year or so. He's not setting things up anymore. He's just waiting for the power. He used to set stuff up. He used to set traps. He used to set decoys. He used to actually work. He's fallen completely in love with his power. He is totally content not working. I am convinced, then you tell me, that this guy doesn't really train that much. He probably just makes weight. If he's showing up 3 hours late to his job, which is the press conferences and everything else, do you really think he's training and
I
doing the
think an
things
untrained
necessary?
eye goes, of course he is. He's shredded. And you go, no, 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 no. There are dudes who are built like Left Hook Lacey, who looks like he was made out
Right,
of stone,
right.
who got packed up.
Do you,
So
no, so
there,
do you, so you've have you also you've pointed it out, the regression in Tank.
I have.
Is it any more clear the last 3 or 4 fights?
No, no, I'm
Okay.
I'm doing the
But again, so what we're trying not to do, guys,
I'm
out there
doing the
is
victory lap, Brandon,
right.
of
You
yo,
can
it's
you can denigrate anybody's resume, okay?
correct.
We don't have to denigrate Tank's resume.
We
These are
don't.
lower 10 guys that are packaged. Hey, they're good. Frank Martin's fucking good.
He is a good
Frank
fighter.
Martin beats a lot of really good guys. He is a
Yes.
lower 10 lightweight
Yes, he is not
that
elite.
that they packaged as like the greatest thing since fucking sliced bread, and people bought into it
Yes.
probably because of what you just said. Frank Martin looks like he's cut from fucking stone.
Yeah.
But when you look at Frank Martin fight, he's not particularly fast. He's not particularly physically strong inside the ring.
Correct.
He's a sharp counterpuncher, not a ton of activity for a lightweight, right?
No. No.
That's perfect for who? A
Tank
guy who's
Davis.
not really going to train that hard,
Right.
who's going to make weight,
Because
who's
the
not
guy's waiting on you. So
right.
you're already off rip according to his style, meaning Frank Martin,
Frank Martin,
dictating the pace of the whole fight.
right.
Where
So now
you
you
can
get a
move the
guy like you said, lunch pail guy, fundamentals guy, a guy who is a student of this sport, who
chin
says chin,
strong. We didn't say when we said he's pretty good at everything, not
yeah,
great at anything. But that strong that we're talking about, not knockout strong, a
right,
strong guy.
strong guy
You
inside,
and I call it dad strength. We always
right,
joke about it.
positioning strength,
Positioning
positioning
strength.
strength, right.
Yes.
And he probably says to himself, like, all right, so what are we going to do in here? And I bet you his team goes, what we're going to do is we're going to box. We're going to stay busy. We're going to stay busier than him, not get too busy where we wear ourselves out. He never got greedy. You know what I
We
mean?
fought him in the amateurs. He beat us twice. We've been in there. We're not
Right.
putting too much stock in it, but you've been
Right.
in there with this kid. Yes,
Right.
you were kids, but
And I also think
not.
that's a thing with Tank too, where guys like Tank also like oftentimes will look marked up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And it's
yeah,
because guys start to get greedy. And Tank, where he is smart, is he's a shark, right?
yeah,
He's
of
a guy.
course.
He's a little tired. He's breathing
Yeah,
heavy. Now I'm going to start to work a little bit. He
yeah,
tried that with Roach, and
yeah,
Roach was like, "Yeah, but my conditioning is better than yours.
yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready for 15.
I'm
Are
ready
you?
for that. Are you?"
Yeah. Are
Right.
you ready to do what we're doing here?
And the
Because I
going
don't
got
think you are.
And when if you watch this fight, I want you guys to watch the seventh round. The seventh round. To me, all the body language changed, all the little smiling and mugging that he does in every other fight, Tank. In the first part of the fight, where you're like, what's he doing? What's he doing? Oh, there it is. You
Guys,
know?
we are 35 years and maybe a few weeks. 35 years, a couple weeks ago was 35 years of Tyson Douglas upset. You are now at the point of Tank's career where Mike was
Right.
for Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas. This is the beginning of the unraveling unless they continue what B already said. Watch who they pick. Is it
Right.
another guy coming up from 30 who has 28 fights but 12
Guys
knockdowns?
who are good enough to keep the intrigue. Look, man, I'm gonna name the fighters. Rolly stinks. Okay. Hector Garcia, we haven't seen him since, right?
We
His,
don't
his
think highly
he
of Ryan Garcia. He's a
Hector
social media
Garcia
star. He can
Hector
box a little.
Garcia got that fight because he beat Chris Colbert in an upset. So
Right.
he got Tank because he beat Chris Colbert.
Right. He probably would have
Chris
fought
Colbert
Chris Colbert if he won that fight.
Tank was going to fight Chris Colbert because they were going back and forth on
Of
social media
course.
and they didn't like each other.
And he got
Well,
upset.
right, Baltimore versus New York,
Yep.
and they were going to do that, and he got upset. Then he
Yep.
lost again and lost to Ryo, and in fairness, Ryo got Pitbull because of that. So
Correct.
look,
It's all incestuous, guys, how this works.
right, this
But
all but what I'm pointing out is even Frank Martin, we were all excited. He fooled everybody. Not that, not, bad phrasing. If you look at Frank Martin was a good, solid guy who's, again, he like wins the hearts of people because he's humble.
yeah,
You know what
nice
I'm
guy.
saying?
Yeah.
Nice guy, like he's a humble guy.
It's been how long since that fight? A year? What has Frank Martin done since then to,
Hasn't
to
fought.
make to make the win look good? See,
Hasn't
that's what
fought.
happens, guys. B and I will say, yo, this guy won this, but now this loss doesn't look so bad. We'll say that
Right.
all the time.
Right.
If Frank Martin comes back and beats two of the other four guys that have championships, then you go, whoa, we were wrong.
Yeah, let's
That's
right.
not
But
losing
he's been MIA, and now
since
since then, and I see like him and Shakur had a quick thing back and forth or whatever. Shakur, yo, Shakur's Twitter fingers are as good as he's in the
he's
ring.
wild.
He
He's wild
talks
on
mad
there.
shit.
He's wild on there. He talks like these 18-year-old young boys from New York and Philly, but
Right,
he's
right,
not anymore. He's 28.
right, right. And he's
But
like,
he's
"Fuck
not.
you,"
You think of like the
but he'll just be like, "Fuck you, bitch." You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yo, wow, he's a wild
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm not afraid of you. Shut the
Yeah.
fuck up. I'll beat
He's
your
a
ass.
wild boy.
Right.
Look, did you score the fight, B?
7-5 Roach.
You watched it
Seven
three
five Ro-
times, I think.
3 times. Scored it the first time. Scored it the third time. 7-5 Roach both times. I
I
couldn't
scored at 115, 113, Lamont Roach. Not a
without the
chance in,
knockdown.
yeah, not a chance in hell he was getting a decision. That's in my notes. That's not, you know what I mean? Judges had a 115, 113 Tank, 114, 114 twice. Majority draw again. We said it already. This maniac said the grease from his braids got into his eye. Hence,
Let's chat about that. Ninth round.
well, I just wanted to say
Oh,
that is a knockdown. With that knockdown, Lamont Roach wins the fight. Forget my card. Throw my
mine
card
too.
out. He
He
wins the
wins.
real cards that counted.
Right.
If that is properly, and that is not being, if that is called properly by Steve Willis, there's 2 points, honestly. The DQ, if he was being liberal, could have been another point. The knee, that's a knockdown. You
So
went to your corner.
regardless of the fucking now, are they going to do this? Are they going to say Willis told them it was a timeout?
I, I don't.
What
Whatever.
are the okay? Here's where I'm foggy. You know how they'll call a timeout like if the tape is loose on
Of
the
course,
glove
the mouthpiece comes out. The
mouthpiece.
tape is loose. Your
In those
shoe fell apart.
in those instances,
Yeah.
the corner can work on you, right?
No.
Well, who cut your tape? Who put your
They
mouth?
can only do what the timeout was called for.
Right.
You
Okay.
can't get a loose mouthpiece and
Then they
and he's
put
working on your
gasoline on
glove.
your.
Right.
Okay. All right. So either way, so then regardless, this is a DQ. Lamont Roach wins.
But what I'm saying is, let's say they're giving Tank the benefit of the doubt of being the A side, right?
Yeah.
The best case scenario, if you're giving him the benefit of the doubt, is a point for the knee, then calling a timeout when Tank goes to his corner, calling a timeout then, and taking a point for going over there mid round. That's if you're trying to,
Yeah.
to
All right.
the
So
DQ. There's a DQ new Lamont Roach. There's a point taken for the knee. Guess what? Still and
and
new
new Lamont
Lamont
Roach.
Roach. 114, 113, twice Lamont Roach. One judge had a 115, 113 Tank. That, by the way, that card's whack.
Wacky.
If you're trying to give Tank this fight because you're biased for Tank, the
How do you
closest you can get is a draw. And
how do
then with
you
the knockdown,
how can you what I'm saying is how do you justify 20 punches around?
you how do you intellectually, or
Yeah.
how do you if you're a Tank fan?
If you're a Tank fan, like
You
what do
you
you
you don't. You just say dumb shit
dumb shit?
that's not. You're not living in reality. You're
Get
just
off of
saying.
fucking boxing Twitter if you don't think that this is a fucking knockdown. You
You're
fucking
talking
idiots.
about someone where you go like, if I say G-Rap is the greatest ever, I will tell you why, and we can have the breakdown.
Right.
They don't say those things. They go, he's my favorite fighter, and because of that, he needed a break. And you go, oh no, I understand that. That's the point though. And then they go, no, no, it's not. You go, oh, you don't know boxing. Why are you talking about it? It's why our go-to statement on this show is B and I don't go on Twitter and talk about hockey because
No.
we don't
I
even
don't know shit
know.
about it.
I don't even know what the fucking guys are called. Like I don't even know what positions are. So you know what I do? I shut the fuck up.
Right.
The unmitigated gall to watch something twice a year and pontificate on it
Oh, bro.
is the wildest thing ever. And that includes the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals. That
Agreed.
includes all of that. It includes all of that, but we fucking see it the most because this is the sport that has the most. I'm going to check that out because they become obsessed with people.
Yeah.
The Pacquiao, look, we lived through the primes of Pacquiao and Mayweather. Those fan bases were rough and
Rough,
still
dude.
kind of are. And
So
they're both
awful.
long past being in the sport.
Couldn't separate like just whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
ninth round, jab, knee, corner.
Did you
Steve,
see all the people that were saying we had Canelo too low on our pound for pounds
yeah,
in the
shut up.
comments? Uh,
You broke it
no.
down. You said 2 years,
Hey, how
six
about
fights.
this, B? You want to see? Want to know something brilliant? Fucking
What do you
brilliant.
got?
So we had him at what, 7 or 8?
Yeah.
So did the Ring, and that just came out. And it's like, yo,
Yeah.
the most respected pound for pound, who basically, I'm not going to say they invented it, but the Ring pound for pound is what put the
Well,
concept on the map.
I think they did invent it.
I forget who
Yeah,
did.
they did.
The whole thing was trying to equate Sugar Ray
Right.
with guys like Joe Louis, and you couldn't.
Right.
So someone said, and I believe you're right. I believe it was the editor in chief of the Ring at the time, which so this would have been like the 40s,
Like
guys.
Nat Fleischer.
Yes, you're talking like the 40s, 50,
Right.
80 plus years ago. Someone
Doug,
said,
correct us and tell us who,
yeah, Doug,
if you're
correct
listening
us. But guys,
this week.
let's understand real quick. I know I'm going on a tangent. B hates it. Guys, a pound for pound means if all of these guys were the exact same size, 6 foot, 150 pounds,
Whose
all
skill
10 of
set?
them.
Right.
We believe that there are that many people above Canelo that at this exact weight would beat him. That's what it means. It doesn't mean he wasn't
Why is
lineal
it out
at
of the realm? Because like fucking one of the guys on there did beat him and beat him badly.
right. And one he wanted no parts of, meaning the guy who lost. Better be it.
Right.
He wanted no parts of it and said it. No, 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 no. I don't want the winner. I
Right.
want this guy. I don't want the winner of said fight. I want better be it. Not because he wasn't brilliant, didn't make him look silly the first time, but he said, I can definitely take his punch. So the worst case
Bivol, you're
scenario.
saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
sorry, sorry.
All
Sorry.
right. So ninth round.
What
We come
happens in the ninth round?
the controversy.
Right,
Insane.
right.
10th, 11th, 12th, we go to the cards. They read the cards. What was Tank's reaction there when he like sort of walked over to the corner? Now was he praying or was he like, I just got robbed? They fucked up my record, my aura of invincibility. Was it all of those things? Was it an emotional dump? Was he, you know,
So I'm playing armchair psychiatrist.
mhm,
Yeah, an armchair Freud.
yeah,
That was exuberation that he got out with his O. Even though people call the draws a blemish,
right.
I'll be honest with you. There are people we speak about weekly that have a draw or more that are undefeated, and we
Hmm.
never bring those draws up. They're like throwaways. The way we talk about a
Yeah,
throwaway jab, it's like they're almost like no contests.
right, right, right. Okay.
Unless it's something fucking massive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Unless I mean, this won't be spoken about amongst casual fans. You know what I mean? They're already
yeah.
tuned out and moving on to the NBA finals or NBA playoffs, should I say, that are still going to start in a month. You know what I'm saying? Everyone has already moved on. If you're a Tank sycophant, he
Oh,
got
dude,
out of there with his who's next?
I mean, this is fucking crazy.
But do you feel me or do you disagree? If you're a Tank sycophant, I'm not talking about people like us. If you want to talk about people like us, we can get into it because I have a question for you and it's low hanging fruit.
Go ahead.
Do they run it back? Because he's sniffing around a 30-year-old year off Lomachenko because that's what he's.
Okay, so I think that,
By the way, a 37-year-old Lomachenko on this Saturday that just passed may have stopped Tank.
yo, what does a prime Shakur do to him?
He is in his prime. He fucking
What does a
he
psycho like Keyshawn Davis who's on a hell
well,
of a run do to him?
Shakur does what I don't know if you backed me up on it. Said before this, I said he 12 O's Tank Shakur
Yeah, I back
before
you on
this
that.
fight. I said before this, guys, don't write us in saying, "Oh, now you think he's da 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 because of that." We called all of this. We saw things in other fights. We saw things in fights that were the knockout of the year in favor of Tank. I
Right,
saw Leo Santa Cruz do good things, who was tiny,
right,
and said, "This is the fucking it. It's right here, guys. Here, you want to see it? Are you not watching Leo Santa Cruz Tank because that was the knockout of the year with that uppercut? Guess what? You made a mistake because there's 6, 7 rounds in there where you could put a plan together.
right,
Did the guy's chin hold up? Of course not. He's a fucking
right,
he's a bantam,
right,
you
right.
know, at fighting at that weight.
I don't think,
Guys, this isn't rocket science. What happened in the ninth round isn't rocket science. Your opinion is just that. It means nothing. You don't fucking score a touchdown and go, I didn't like that. So it's not a touchdown.
right, right,
You look at the review, you got both feet in. All the judges agree you got both feet in and had control of the ball. Touchdown. And you go, I don't, not to me. So Brady didn't win. No,
right.
you dope. These are rules exist
Rules for
for a fucking
a
reason,
reason.
guys, and they exist
Otherwise,
in
just have a
life too.
street fight.
But big, they exist in life for a reason too,
Sure.
or else it'd be fucking anarchy. You
Uh,
start letting it go in certain places, and we've seen what happens.
I think they're going to run
This
it
isn't a
back.
political show, B.
Yeah,
Okay, it's not, and I'm not going to say any names, but you see what happens when people get treated differently.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
This
do.
person is on the same level as this person. In theory, they are. But this person gets this, doesn't get charged for this crime. This
Right,
person doesn't go to jail for the felony, whereas the kid we went to high school with did way less and they're doing 15 years
right.
for a lesser crime. Guys, you don't think a pampered guy who used
Pampered.
to be threatened with Lomachenko, guys, do you know that is factual?
Oh, they're just
Tank would
gonna
act
they're just gonna show you that the soundbite of Loma and Igis Klimas turning Tank down because of the Cold War with Top Rank and PBC. But
right, right.
the point, listen,
How about him avoiding him since 2016
yeah,
as a response
let's
to that?
let's talk about this. The pampered guy and who is a ticket seller,
Yes.
who's a moneymaker, who's a
Yes.
cash cow,
Yes.
and a guy in
And
Lamont
will be for the
Roach,
foreseeable future because it's going to be
and a
dead
guy
soon.
like Lamont Roach, who I don't know, a thousandaire in Lamont Roach.
Mm-hmm. That has been talked about on this show because we're sick maniacs. How many people that
Right,
tuned in knew who he was?
right.
Not many.
Not many. We knew him from a loss to
Jamel Herring.
Jamel Herring and a return on Pro Box, where we said he looked good, and we said, but take into consideration his opponent.
Look, we praised the shit out of that Pro Box performance
Yep,
and said, look, competition matters. This guy wasn't on his level, but he looked sharp.
yep.
So in retrospect, should you and I have put a little bit more into that performance? I don't know
No,
because of
because
size.
arguably the best guy in the division, who's bigger, was who we thought would knock him out. So, look, they got to run it back.
Do
Let's
they
see if
run
they
it back?
do. I think so now. Yeah, I think so.
Next,
And I'm picking Roach.
next is
That,
all right. That's the second question. Next, because tanks are initial. Look, we got to keep the same energy. When someone's right after a fight, emotions are high. So that even counts Tank, who we're saying is a mental patient. He said no. He said I will fight him again, but no, not next.
yeah,
Do you think? Because you brought up something very important, the court of public opinion.
is yeah. I think that
That kid will be flustered after you bitch ass N word fight Roach again. He will fucking his pride will
he's
make him
losing
go to
it.
Al Heyman and go, I have to do that. He's losing his mind.
He's losing his
He's
mind.
having a meltdown. He's had them before.
Yeah,
Uh the other Tank thing was, yeah, he just like didn't seem right. He's a moron.
right.
He's Raleigh
He
slow.
he didn't seem right because, in my opinion, he
He
probably didn't train.
how about well, I'll go one further. He didn't seem right because he's not right. He's a
Because
dope.
yeah, he's also not right.
He's a dope.
But do
He's
you
not
agree
right
with
in
me
the
about the
head.
training shit?
I do.
That he makes weight?
I believe he gets into shape, meaning layman shape. Oh,
Right.
that guy's in shape. Do I believe he is sparring
And
with
studying film?
yes, and sparring guys mimicking Roach's style, which is a traditional, old school, really sharp,
Right.
technically sound style. Oh, Roach does this well. Let's get a guy who does that well too. Do
No.
I think he's got top sparring, or do I think he's being gassed up by Calvin Roach and them in the gym? And do I think he's got yes men? It's all fucking 90s Tyson
Yeah, all over
from
again.
88 on
Right.
from Jimmy dying and Cuss dying and
Right.
Don King coming in and Kevin Rooney being fired. You guys, you're watching it in real fucking time. You just don't want to admit it. And the only way he escapes it is by caring so little that he fights another Pitbull Cruz.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how he avoids the inevitable downfall of yo, that guy was never what we
Right,
thought
right,
he
right.
was.
Right. Right.
Because now other people will call it wasted talent, et cetera, et cetera. I won't because I always thought he was a one-trick pony and that the myth of him being a boxing genius in there that just doesn't need to use it because he's got a one-hitter quitter. But wait until you see him in tough fights
Right.
with guys that won't go down.
It's a matter
Well,
of time. Anybody I know that knows boxing said that. It's a matter of time that someone's going to get on a stick and
you have a good jab. You can move kind of well. You're not the most athletic guy, but you're athletic enough. You're
I
not a
didn't think it was going to be this guy, and it was. And there's
I said all of that, but it ain't going to be Lamont Roach.
no.
I said this is what's going to happen and how it's going to happen, but it's not Lamont Roach, meaning in my head
Yo,
leading up to it.
Guys like Keyshawn and Shakur are salivating for Tank Davis for a reason.
I think if I can leap into both brains, I'm more hotsy totsy if I'm Shakur
Yeah.
because only because Keyshawn will sling them dogs and Tank's power is real.
Right,
So
but I think that right now,
he might mow Tank over.
I think that's what he's thinking. This kid, he's thinking Tank ain't got no balls.
This guy
Going got
wanted
tough.
this guy wanted out when the
Wanted out.
going got tough again. Sorry, guys. Again, back to Tyson. What happened to Mike when the going got tough
Wanted
the
out.
first time he bit someone?
Yeah.
The first time he got packed up.
Right.
The
All
first
right.
time he got packed up. The second time
So
he
we want to see
literally
this
bit someone's
again.
ear off.
We want to see this again.
I want to see it next, and I want to see it in fucking June if they're both not hurt.
Agreed.
July, I guess. First off, Tank before this fight talked about fighting 3 times a year. Make me laugh. Stop
Okay.
the fucking madness,
Maybe he
bro.
should do that and he
Maybe
would
you
be in better
should.
shape
Yeah. How about you do
and
fight
you'd
him in
be
June or
sharper.
July? How about you never go back to eating like a pig and eating the fucking nachos with the cheese and the 2 mixed drinks I see you with in
Right.
Atlantic City and stay in camp, take off for 10 days, 14 days, then some light work, and then get back into a camp for 8 weeks. How about that,
And then
Tank?
if that's the case, cut your hair. Be professional about it. Cut your hair short.
Shave your head, come out with no wrapper. How about like do something that's a subtle fuck you, and I'm really a
Right.
goon that I told y'all I was. Come
Right.
out to no music and a fucking towel on your head and
Right.
the silence or a gong, and don't fucking call people names and don't mention their mother
Don't
like you
push him
did.
at the fucking weigh-in.
Don't say
Show
something
up
about
on
bringing your
time to your
mother.
fucking
Yeah.
press
How
conferences.
about you make us shut the fuck up? How about you
Right.
shut up 2 East Coast guys who are calling you on your shit and shut us up? Make us look dumb.
Who walked him out again the other night?
I don't fucking know.
I forgot who. Oh, it
Uh,
was fucking Jim
oh,
Jones.
Jim Jones and Jules. Yeah.
You know what, bro?
Dipset in New York with the New York hat.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but after that versus with the locks, that's a bad look,
That's
bro.
a bad
You
look.
can't have them walk you
That's
out.
a bad look.
Jim Jones to me is taking L's left and right.
Left and right.
He's
Did you
going
see
on.
him on? Did you see him on Breakfast Club where they said they call you the oldest YN? Guys,
Yeah,
YN means young, N word. He's
yeah.
like, I take that as a compliment. Like, bro, that's how cooked he is. That you're basically the
Well,
YN
yo,
shit
but
means you're like you're a young buffoon.
Cam is just airing them out like
Yeah,
almost
left and
every
right. He's just getting cooked. And
cooked.
people love Cam and he's witty as shit, and Jim
Right.
isn't. And he's
And
not a good rapper enough to say anything
no,
fly
he's
because
not. He's bad.
he tried to make a record and when it just bricked, it went double wood at aimed at Cam. You can't really come at a guy like Cam, bro. Lil
No,
Diddy. Like that's a guy who's always gonna win. He's
right,
smart, he's witty, people love him, he's beloved, bro.
right.
Cam's one of them dudes that like don't really take L's.
No, he
And
like keeps reinventing himself.
yes, and then you hear of an L and no one even cares. Like he got
Right.
shot at, but he lived and
Got
in like
shot
DC,
twice.
yeah, like in
Yeah.
DC, right? We're talking about
Yes, in a
DC
Lambo.
Baltimore guys, right?
And his
Like
and the interview outside of the hospital in a sling bleeding is one of the funniest things you ever seen.
he's
Like,
talking that fly Harlem shit. You
right.
can't really
Like
get
you
away.
they came to me. They said they was gonna shoot me. He said, "Go
Yeah,
ahead, shoot me
didn't he say
then."
they threw up the rock sign or
Yeah.
something?
He's like, so
Yeah.
then they started blasting.
Yo, he might be the most naturally funny person of all time. That's not a comedian. I mean,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
listening to Cam, he might just be like,
His raps, like on the first Big L talk about nines and texts,
yeah, yeah, of course,
yeah,
Children of the Corn shit.
yeah, yeah.
Don't sleep on Killer, guys. That's
No,
our
yo.
guy.
Um,
Yo, so you're
Talk about
saying they
nines and
want,
texts and never shot a water gun. A
yeah,
killer camera gets sporadic with an automatic. Yeah,
automatic,
yeah,
yeah. Does
yeah.
does he? Do they run it back this summer?
I think so.
Big,
I
that's
think
your
they're gonna have
call.
to. I think they're gonna lack of a better term, box him in a corner. He's gonna go. I got no other options because you got Shakur, you got Keyshawn, you got the other players at that weight. Like, give him, come on,
Come on,
give
that's
him
how
to
I
me.
like it. Hey,
Right.
that's how I
So
like
you
it.
got to redeem yourself. The most beatable guy is likely Lamont Roach. You beat him again, and we all forget about this
Correct. That's why we talked about earlier, guys.
and totally
Forgetting about
redeem
draws,
yourself.
short-term memory sport, guys. It
Right.
wasn't that long ago that Dubois got packed up
Right.
and
Right.
looked like he quit. Then it looked to some people. I don't
But
think so.
I think that Tank is so deluded by
can we also just he's fucking dumb too. On top,
So again,
delusion and stupidity are
when
two
you
different
when
things.
you pamper a dum dum,
Yes,
and so he just thinks that like these are the rules, not the exception, right?
correct.
He's the exception,
I don't have to listen to this.
right? What are you talking
Look
about?
at guys, we talked about him looking for a way out. Look how often, go back and watch it because most people don't do that. Watch how often he's looking for help from Steve Willis outside of the things we
That's a
spoke
really
about.
good point that
I'm
you
not
said.
talking about the knee and I'm not talking about going to his corner.
No,
Watch how many
just
times he's saying to Steve Willis, he's mama, he's mama. Is that a goon, guys? When you the goons you know in your life, guys. The goons, the motherfucker, the
right.
shooters you know. Do they go to someone for a way out? Or do they start shooting?
Yeah, I
Real
mean,
goon shit. Do they start shooting? Do they start dumping? Or do they look to their mans and
right,
go, "Yeah, he hit me in the dick when we were mixing it up on the
right.
street." No, no, no. You eat that. No diddy. I saw a guy who wanted
Hey,
out.
yo.
I saw a guy who wanted out multiple times.
Yo, the
And
whole biting thing that you pointed out, and I saw too, like you saw the look in his eyes, like, oh, I want to bite this,
he
you know, like
wanted to bite him. He took a knee. He went to his corner mid round. And when he wasn't doing that, he was looking to Steve Willis for help, to take a point. He ba 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 ba. After he instigated with throwing the shoulder, I mistakenly used the word elbow. He
yeah,
threw his
yeah, yeah.
shoulder right on the jaw, right on the point of his chin.
Right,
Lamont retaliates as you should in boxing. It's against the rules, but every trainer will tell you if someone does you dirty, do it back.
right.
Listen, he did it. He started bitching then. He wanted out. He looked for ways out. He
Strange,
didn't get them.
strange,
And
strange days indeed, right, Vinny?
and a draw is a gift. He was gifted a draw by a ref and an athletic commission who knows that this is a disastrous loss for everyone except Lamont Roach.
Right.
Everyone involved in this fight, it's disastrous if this card goes the way it should have.
Yeah.
Everyone except Lamont Roach and his father and his team.
Mm-hmm.
There's nowhere to go.
Mm-hmm.
There's nowhere
Mm-hmm.
to go.
Mm-hmm.
There's nowhere to go. You've been exposed, and your record proves as such. You didn't fight goon after goon after goon.
No.
Then you lose a close fight, and we all go, "Let's do it again, man." This motherfucker fought everybody. We brought up someone in George Cambosis that we never saw. Fucking guy got in there with people.
Did, and
I, and
that's
I
what
don't
he's
want to
hanging
see
his
him
hat
again,
on.
guys. I don't want to see him again. But the guy took him.
So even he's going after Tank. They're
They
jawing
were
back
because
and forth. Yeah.
he said he shit on him. Tank shit on him, and then that's what he said to him. He's like, "Bro, at least I fight people.
Right.
I lost to him. I fought the best, bro."
It's the most unkept secret in boxing that Tank's resume sucks. Like boxing people, boxing insiders, other fighters, etc. Like, why do I have to fight this murderer's row of people? And this guy keeps getting elevated in this.
Right,
Well,
right.
because 20,000 at Barclays fucking dictates that.
Correct,
That's why.
correct, correct.
He really is well packaged, a media darling for
Paul
being horrible media.
Paul Malignaggi cut a promo on him. I
Yeah,
retweeted it. Guys, go on Paulie
yeah.
Malignaggi's Twitter.
It's Paulie.tv. Check
Yeah,
that
that's
out.
his YouTube. Is the
That's his
full he
YouTube.
did the full video, which is like 11 minutes on
Yeah.
Paulie TV. That's his YouTube. On his Twitter, it's like a minute or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
just he didn't put it on his IG yet. He should. I fucking screen recorded it and posted it on my story. It's so good.
Right. Yeah,
Because
you guys
Paulie will
want to check
call
that.
out fighters that he has to see in person because he doesn't care.
Right.
He's honest. So is Algieri. These
Yeah.
guys are honest.
They're pundits now. You know, they have to.
Yeah, this is their job.
It's their job.
Look, yeah, same with Paul. He doesn't say the guy can't fight. Same way B and I don't. We said, look, we want to
Everybody
see
knows he can fight. That's the problem.
Yeah.
If he
But
really sucked, I don't think I'd hold him to this high a standard.
No, why would we? He's not. If you say he's not protected, you're deluded. If you say he's not been well managed and carefully
Right.
managed, you're deluded.
Yo, when the crutch for his handlers and fans is, but yo, he gave Lamont the bag, so Lamont should just shut the fuck up, and because that's what I'm seeing now.
I am too.
So what?
It's,
Again,
it's,
what other fucking sport does this? This is just
No,
all right.
no.
I'm ready to move on,
Yeah, let's do it.
but I'm just I get disgusted with the people that tune into this fucking sport, and I will continue to roast your motherfucking asses on social media. And I'll take it back to 10 years ago when I first got social media, was roasting people on there for the same kind of shit. And if you want to approach me about it. If you see me out, because we could have a conversation in person if you want, or we could, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So if you want to get spicy in the DMs or do whatever like you used to, fine, I'm here for that too. So I'm not going to name names, but those people know who the fuck I am. And I kind of made a name for myself in terms of this stupid social media shit, being the guy that would show up like, what's up?
I remember
So,
me and you when we got close, it was happening together.
right. What's
You were
up?
like, you were like, yo, I know that guy that talked crazy to you, bro.
Right.
We'll
Right.
fuck him up. So
Right.
like, I'm gonna
Right.
try to play something, but I think my mic won't let it.
Okay.
So just cut me off immediately if you
All
go,
right.
no, 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 it's not playing.
All right.
Lamont Roach was always a solid fighter, solid fundamental, and I'm going to reiterate what I said before. Solid fundamental fighter, nothing that wows you though, no crazy speed, no crazy power, just a solid fundamental fighter who's been well schooled, well taught, and well balanced. And that's who he was tonight. His sense of positioning allowed him to catch and shoot in some spots. He had a mentally strong game plan in terms of he was trying to hold ground a lot and sort of back up Gervonta Davis. Davis still, when you really think about it, he ends up fighting a Lamont Roach, who's a 130-pound champion, been a perennial contender for about 10 years, finally won a world title. You bring him up in weight with all the lightweights, tough lightweights that are out there. You go outside the weight class to defend the title and get a smaller guy, which is something that he'd done already before with Garcia a couple of years back. The guy he fought before he fought Ryan Garcia. I don't know, man. I can't keep reiterating how disappointing Gervonta Davis has been as far as the resume is concerned. If this is about as manufactured a star as you can make, and anybody who is going to defend that is really got to get their groupie lenses checked, because I've never seen a guy with this many pay-per-view headliners have not a single Hall of Famer on his resume.
Can I steal? Can we as a podcast steal something from Paulie?
God, yeah.
Disappointed.
Disappointed.
When you say
right.
you guys kill him, you hate him. We're disappointed in a guy that won't fight
I
you.
talked to Paulie on I hadn't listened to that.
Yeah.
I talked to him on the phone yesterday.
Well, I like when you laugh because he must have been saying that to you on the phone.
He has such a photographic memory.
Yeah.
You know the part in Wu-Tang, like, yo, that's the inspector, because he'll, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that whole,
he's the Inspector Deck of boxing.
Yeah.
Because he's studying everything.
He will say something to me like a bad prediction I had like in 2015. He'd be like, oh yeah, but you thought this then. And I'm like, that was 10 years ago, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm laughing because we were talking on the phone, and it was those things. I've seen him cut those Paulie TV things. They're unrehearsed, and he does it in one take. It's actually fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But he remembers it. So like, it was before he put that out. I think we talked on the phone, and maybe it was 2 days ago, and that was word for word what he said, and we were going back and forth about exactly that, and saying what a fucking disappointment. And we were talking about at the Pedraza fight, how we were like, wow, this is a 22-year-old kid. Like everyone was excited.
Oh yeah, of course, bro. Of course.
8 years ago, everyone's excited.
And it remains his best win, and we were so excited.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. So look, we've given Tank and Roach enough time. Shouts to Lamont Roach. I hope he gets a bigger bag.
The Mythbuster, Lamont Roach.
The Mythbuster. I love that. That's great.
Shout outs to Dan Morley for hitting both of us up.
Yeah, yo, Dan Morley. What up?
Dan Morley's a current active fighter. He's also media. Just proper geezer.
He's a proper geezer.
He is, man. What a nice guy. His content is great. He's a good fighter. This guy's
natural historian, great speaking voice,
undefeated fighter, all at the same time. This guy's nuts.
Right. He's not even 30.
Right.
Bro, he's a kid.
Imagine being in your 20s. You're actively fighting. You're undefeated. You're getting hit in the gym, hit in the face in the ring.
And now, because of your content, you're being flown around the world.
Yes. Yo, shout out Dan. Follow him. Yo, Dan, you do great work, man.
Yeah,
We
Dan Morley
we
boxing guys, follow him. He is now officially a friend of the show.
we have infinite respect for you, man. We appreciate you sending us a shot, and we'll be in touch whenever you're over here, especially on the East Coast. Let's link
Yeah, let's
up.
get together.
So B, um,
Quick previews.
yeah. So let's hope we hear an announcement soon, B. I don't even want to wait, honestly.
I don't want to wait. I
And
think
if
we'll
it's a
get.
no, I want to hear it. If it's a no,
Me
I want
too.
to hear it. You know, I want,
Yeah.
but we should hear it soon. Guys, Thursday, we B and B say this all the time. We love Thursday night fights. This Thursday night, Golden Boy DAZN, Manny Flores, 19-1, 15 KO. Manny Flores is really good.
He's good.
And Jorge Leva can fight 18-3, 13 KOs. Super Bantam. Guys, these are the type of fights where they might go to fucking war. So
Yo,
don't sleep.
I really do like what Oscar tried to do this a few years ago with the remember like LA Fight Night he was doing.
Yeah.
And now that like the zone needs content, Oscar's
Yes.
doing it again. So
Guys,
again, guys, this is how a promotional company should work. These
correct.
little cards, along with their big cards, is how they make money. You know, this
And
is
when
great.
and when a super bantam fight gets made in a couple months, and you go, "Who's blank?" It's the guy that wins this fight that gets
Correct.
that shot.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
and if you
Correct.
want to see it, this is how you do it, guys.
Yep.
Thursday night, everyone's in. They got work the next day. Manny Flores can fight, man. He's got
Yeah.
that one blemish, no problem. Friday night, Toronto, Lucas
Also on the
Body.
zone.
Yes, the zone. Lucas Body versus Ryan James Racaza. Look, 18-0, 15 knockouts for Lucas Body. Ryan James Racaza, 15-0, 11 KOs. I don't know the line here, guys, because it's not a big enough fight.
No.
They definitely are setting this up for Lucas Body. I think he might not be the real deal.
I'm with you. I put him on here because we have to put him.
No, I'm watching it. I'm not.
No, what I'm saying is we have to put a magnifying glass on Body. They're
There's
really
something there I
selling
don't
them.
like. Yes, they're really pushing this guy.
Right.
Guys, this is what happens when you hit a point where you're a regional guy and you can sell tickets there. B just talked about Tank selling tickets. Guys,
Right.
This is a business. If you can sell out smaller shows, then they get the bigger shows, and you become these people that can sell out. Even if you're not a superstar, you can make a nice little.
Right.
Is it again time to reference Peter Manfredo again? I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah,
Every week he gets a shot.
And by the way, it was the Dunkin' Donuts Center that you were thinking of.
Right, yeah. Right. So I'm not going to be surprised, guys, if that's an upset special. If Ryan James Arcaza wins, he could fight. Saturday night on Pro Box. This could be a crack up, bro.
So the Ukrainian,
Korean, I think.
Arnold Kagai. Correct us, guys, if we're wrong. I think he's Korean.
Arnold Kagai only lost to he's got one loss to this is a featherweight. It's a Cool Boy Steph. This is only loss.
That's it.
And now Cool Boy Steph's a 2-time champ and just looked amazing. He's a real guy, 22-1,
fighting
10 KOs.
Good old Joet Gonzalez.
Joet Gonzalez only loses to good guys.
Six losses, been off for 2 years.
I thought he had like 4 losses. He lost to Shakur, he lost to Navarrete. Those are real guys.
That Shakur thing was crazy. Shakur's like dating his sister,
and they hate, and they wanted
to like kill each other. Yeah,
yeah.
His sister's a fighter too. Whole family's fighters.
If you're shaky,
whole family fighters.
If you're not the real deal,
you're right. He's got 4 losses. 4 losses. Excuse me.
Yeah, and 2 of them are to Shakur and Navarrete. So I'm not telling you guys throw him out. I'm just saying he loses the real guys.
No, and
Isaac Dogbe, who was good at that
and
time.
Luis Alberto Lopez,
who before he got packed up by Leo, was on a run. He only loses the real guys, and Kagai only lost the Cool Boy Steph in a slick boxer. These motherfuckers might go to war. So I'm assuming is this in the home base of Pro Box, or is this on the road, babe?
No, it's in Long Beach. It's Thunder Studios in Long Beach.
So is Paulie and Algeria on the call, and Jimmy Smith?
I guess, and Robert Garcia is the promoter for this, by the way.
Robert Garcia?
Yeah.
Like Garcia Boxing Academy?
Yeah.
Okay. This fight is going to be good, guys. I'm picking Arnold Kagai. I think he might make a little run at feather.
Yeah.
I think he might go on a little run.
I'm going to pick Kagai too, just because of Gonzalez's track record. But this should be a good fight, another good Pro Box fight. Check it out Saturday
keep putting on
Pro
great
Box.
Cards, guys. Pro Box is on free. The app is free. on all of your devices,
Yeah.
and you can watch it for free on YouTube, streaming on your TV. So there's no reason not to watch that card. If you don't have the zone, look, your personal money and stuff, that's you. Thursday and Friday at the zone. You have no reason not to watch Arnold Kagai, Joey Gonzalez on a
Tune into
Saturday
these
night at the
cards, guys.
crib.
This is what keeps the
Yeah,
sport alive.
it
All right.
is. And all of these guys have really good records, and with wins will be in a real fight next.
All right.
Not that these aren't real fights, by the
Let's
way.
get into some. We have no Billy Betts. We got no Pazzi prospects tonight, but you know what we got? We got fan mail. Okay? We
We
got
got the
fan mail.
opposite of a Pazzi prospect in this Lucas Body.
Lucas
The
Body,
guy
yeah.
he might, right.
We
Maybe
have
he
a we
packs
have a
up this kid. We go,
might
all
be
right,
overrated.
sorry,
Guy might have been
sorry,
overrated.
yeah, sorry, this Lucas
Lucas
Body,
Body, you're on the naughty list.
right?
Fucking stupid I am.
We're
All right.
both morons.
So we got mail. So let's get through this mail.
All
All
right,
right. We got it's called he titles it Braid Gate, and it's Darren Frew.
what up,
And he
Darren?
says, what up, Darren? He says, what's happening, lads, from Scotland?
All right,
He's Scottish. He says, get this fucking Wank Davis, no typo, out of any pound. I love you. He's coming hot from
he
Scotland.
is coming. He's landing. Yeah,
Yeah, he says, get this.
He's
Get,
landing his plane.
right, get this fucking Wank Davis, no typo, out of any pound for pound discussion.
Yes,
This fucking guy tries to politic his way out of any career blemishes, only to be
yes.
outboxed and outfought by Lamont Roach of all people. Oh, let's put a little bit more respect on Lamont Roach's
Well,
name
we
here.
didn't. We
Yeah,
didn't.
he says,
We didn't.
let this be a lesson in the marination mafia at PBC. Tank's a very good and exciting fighter, but his deficiencies have been covered by the fact that he carries a bomb late. Carries a bomb late down the stretch, which never bailed him out this time. And you see
Yep.
the results. He's calling his own fouls, breaks, and taking knees.
Yes.
Then came the cards. I feel bad for Lamont. He never stood a chance. Stop the Floyd comparisons. Maidana and Castillo got the opportunity to get their respective licks back. This idiot's already running. Shakur will dummy him over 12, and Loma would body bag him.
I
All right,
like this
Darren.
guy, and he fucking sounds like I wrote that to us.
I was gonna
Half
say,
of this shit sounds like
are
my
are
brain.
you did you moonlight as a Scotsman?
Me?
Yeah.
I did it.
All right.
Darren, thanks for writing
Thanks,
in.
Darren.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more with everything you said.
All right. So the next one is from Richie Esco, and apparently I missed a mail from him a couple weeks back. Sorry, Richie. He says, "What's up, fellas? Been rocking with Pazzi since day one, JMT days, and loyal listener of the pod from the
Appreciate
start.
you, bro.
You guys missed my first submission a few weeks ago, but all good. I want to talk about two things from the weekend. First is Rayo. I did not like when he announced shortly after the Cruz fight that he was leaving Robert Garcia boxing. I thought at the time it was odd and a bad decision. Rayo seemingly just came off his most impressive victory, where he changed his usual style and showed very nice boxing ability, beating Cruz. I think the change hurt him for this fight. In his head, maybe him and his pops thought the Cruz fight was the blueprint for future Rayo fights. I think that style did him a disservice and cost him the fight against Russell. What do you think about this? I agree. I didn't know what that was about. I mean, we do know what that's about. It's about money. Those things are usually about money. Why a guy leaves another guy after a big victory.
Of course.
I've learned enough from you, and I don't want to. Robert Garcia probably garners a pretty penny. Do you think maybe his father was jealous that Garcia? Hang on, I just lost my space. Was jealous that Garcia cost him the fight against Russell. Excuse me. Maybe taking credit and switched. Yes, I do think that these boxing dads are poison. Was there a falling out? We didn't hear about one. My second point I wanted to talk about was the Tank Roach fight. I'm sure you already talked about that ridiculous non-knockdown knee. I've never seen a fighter take a clear knee, then turn his back on his opponent and have a 30 to 45 second convo to convince the ref not to count it as a knockdown. And the ref listened. That clearly cost Roach the fight. The excuse Tank gave was totally ridiculous too. It's time to get Tank out of there. He's not a serious pound-for-pound fighter. He just wants to keep padding and protecting that O. As you all have said, his best win was against a blown-up Santa Cruz sniper. I have a proposal. We do a tournament for our mid 20s to 30-year-old fighters. Tank, Teo, Haney, and Ryan fight in a tourney. The losers have to retire for good. Yes. The
We love
winner
loser leaves town matches
loser
on this
leaves town.
show.
The winner fights Stevenson so he can rid them all of the sport too. What do you think? I'm sick of these guys and their insufferable casual groupie fanboys. It's like watching two different sports. Thanks for the content, fellas. Killing it with the consistency lately. Much love.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
He wants Dusty Rhodes and Kevin Sullivan in
That's it.
Florida. Loser leaves town
I
match.
like that. Obviously, I don't want to see guys not be able to earn, but yeah,
All of
tournaments.
that could happen with the exception of Tank. I think there'll be some form of Ryan,
Yeah.
Haney,
Well, we're
Teo.
saying it. It's
Right?
going to
No,
happen.
no,
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
the New York thing is.
Right.
Tank and Al won't play ball. Also,
And not
Tank
when
is going nowhere because there's too many sycophants. And by too many, I mean selling 20,000 is crazy. And
crazy.
the numbers on pay-per-view don't do well enough, but somehow Heyman's math is making it work.
Right.
Or it's not, and he's just eating.
Right.
And he's just eating money.
it.
But guys, stars do 1 million pay-per-views in any era, in any economic
Time, yeah.
peril or thriving.
Well,
And
yeah, I mean, 1 million isn't
Oscar,
what it used to
Floyd,
be.
no,
Right.
it's not. But
Yeah.
you're still all right. Let me knock some off then.
We got to knock some off, yeah.
Want me to knock some off?
600,000.
650 to 850.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's crazy now. Like those used to be bombs.
I think Haney and Ryan did over. I think Tank Ryan did over 1 million.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then non-Ryan Tank fights do like 250.
Right.
I think this one's gonna. I'm gonna look. I said my over under is 200.
Our next letter is from an old friend.
Is this from Derek from Texas?
Derek from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
He titles it "The Close Rounds." Hello, Derek here, checking in from the ranch in West Texas. I saw a recent tribalist dickhead state that old age opinion. You got to dominate the champion to take his belt from him. It's the stupidest fucking opinion to have. I have an entire promo I could cut on this and people who have this opinion, but would love to hear your guys' take on it. If you haven't covered it already during the course of your breakdown last week's fight at Tank Roach. Peace and love. Derek from Texas.
Hey, listen, the guy I said on the personal Facebook promo that I cut on the guy, that's how he started it out.
I hate that.
Thing.
I hate the champ thing.
Bro, not only do we hate it, it's antiquated. If you believe that to be the truth, it died in the 80s and the 90s. If you say you got to beat it, bro, people like my father used to say you got to knock out the champ.
Right.
That's how strong that fucking axiom was at one point.
I think
knock out the champ. Then it carried with my brother, and I started going, bro, let me explain something to you. That is no more.
No, and especially if you have 4 champs in a division at times.
I'm like, so then I go, do you want me to start naming champs who lost close fights? Because I can.
Right. It happens.
It happens.
And so like if the 98 Bulls lost by 1 point in the finals,
right,
to the Jazz,
right,
do we give it to the Bulls because they didn't really dominate them?
They didn't dominate them. They eked it out. It was, that series went 7 games. Let's give it to the guys who won 3 because it shouldn't have gone.
Right.
It shouldn't have happened.
Fuck out of here. It's stupid. I agree
I
agree with Kared Derek from Texas.
Derek from
Texas. Yes. All right. We got 2
You're
more.
a moron if you think that.
We get our buddy Johnny Meza writes us. He says, "What's up, guys? Hope all's well."
Hermano, ¿cómo está?
Roach was robbed, plain and simple. Which fight was a bigger robbery? Sweet Pea versus Chavez or Hagler versus Leonard? Pete and Chavez was a bigger robbery, I think.
He did Chavez more dirty than Hagler did Leonard.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
But for like the popularity, it has to be Hagler Leonard. Right?
Oh.
In terms of like
Bro, that Sports Illustrated, it was the cover, and it
Yeah.
just said
robbery. Yeah.
yes.
All right, so
They're close, B.
They're
They're
close.
close. They're close.
One seems to like live on in lore more
In
than the other.
infamy.
Yeah.
I
All
mean,
right.
yo, man, I think fucking Haney Lomachenko is as egregious as any. I mean, I don't think that's when it happened and I tweeted about it. I said, all you dickheads aren't going to be talking about this in a couple of months because of how we
Right.
get our information now.
Right.
But because it's the information age and it moves quick, I even think historical events now move quick. This happens.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
happens. Trump does something crazy.
Dude,
Biden does something crazy. Something moves.
When we were in Philly at the Boots fight in July, Trump got shot in the ear.
Yes.
Nobody talked about it 2 weeks later.
I don't think I've thought about it since then.
No.
We were eating in South Philly.
Right.
My man Louis came over and told us it happened. We went, that's wild. And I don't think I've thought about it since then.
No.
I think the thing on his ear was hilarious. That made me laugh. Other than that, but as information's moving, it's like, oh no, like I don't look at I don't look at Loma like winning that. It's a dub in the books whereas I never look at that as a draw for Chavez. He lost the Sweet Pea clean. I look,
I think I it's a tough one, but I'm gonna go ahead and say, to your point, Sports Illustrated cover, in terms of the actual robbery, it's Pete getting robbed against Chavez.
And hey, nobody thinks Chavez won. There's people that think Sugar Ray Leonard beat Hagler.
Right.
And there's smart people that think it. I think they're dopes for thinking it, but there's people I respect that think it.
Me too. Okay. And our last one is from, there's death, taxes, and a letter from A.V. Julian.
Indeed, there is.
All right. So he calls him Gervonta Davis. I actually call him Tank-a-Knee Davis. Gervonta Tank-a-Knee Davis. If you guys like that one, you can keep that. But he says Gervonta Davis says, "Peace, gang. Americo Vespucci here." This guy's saying he discovered an entire continent. Minkya. He says, Americo Vespucci here. I don't expect Pazman to know this by any means, but KEOTB's own co-host with the co-most likely recalls when Amanda Serrano canceled her fight on the night of the fight due to eye irritation caused by a hair product. Whether that happened, I thought, wow, one of the few challenges facing female athletes that men will never have to worry about. Enter Gervonta Tank Davis. So she had a homecoming fight in Puerto Rico, put some stuff in her hair to same thing for cornrows to keep it, and it like she had a bad reaction to it. This is different in terms of Davis made the fight. She didn't even get to fight night. Like she couldn't see. Will Ring please flick this man's name off their pound for pound list now? Guys, if Ring Magazine, folks, if you're listening, guys, it really is. People are not, they don't want to see him on there. He says,
the argument for us is that we have Shakur Stevenson on ours.
Right.
And if Tank, if Core is on, Tank should be on because he has the same weak resume. I'm speaking for the people who don't like us.
Yeah. All right. So AV says, I've watched Carlos Santos, Tommy Hitman Hearns, Tony TNT Tucker, Mitch Green, and between them and anyone that had to fight them, not one took a knee on account of activator or soul glow getting in their eyes. And who takes a knee for any reason at all and doesn't get an 8 count? Reminds me of WWF days when the referee, Dirty Danny Davis or whatever.
Oh, Danny Davis.
Yeah, when he had a twin brother. When the referee would get distracted and not count the man out who's pinned over 3 seconds with their back was turned. Knock on.
Yeah, a little flare eye poke.
Yeah.
Rick would poke you in the eye and the ref didn't see it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, all kinds of shit. Like they would be, especially in tag team matches, remember? They'd be tending to the guy who's going to jump, he would distract the ref.
Mr. Fuji throw a fucking salt right in the fucking eye.
So, look.
This fucking Muda would spit mist.
Right.
Each color meant something different.
We've now made most of the show about the spectacle that was on Saturday.
I think Tank was close to saying Mr. Fuji threw salt in his eyes.
Salt in his eyes, yeah.
Close at the presser.
Yeah.
He should have. I'd be like, now he's my favorite fighter. If Tank Davis sat down and said, I couldn't see, so I took a knee because Mr. Fuji threw salt in my eye, automatic, my favorite fighter, even after losing.
Totally redeems himself.
Totally.
All right. So that's it, guys. That's it for the show. There's a lot to talk about. I hope we didn't get too deep into the weeds about some what we call bad behavior. But you can find me at the Killer B24 on Twitter, roasting people this week at I_no_that_kid on IG. Find us at KEOTB Boxing on IG. Write us at KEOTBboxing@gmail.com. And our YouTube, which sort of been absent because the great Irish William, the Prince of Delco, hasn't
Sir
been there.
William,
But
Prince of
Sir,
the
Sir William,
affiliate?
yeah. That's at KEOTB Podcast on YouTube. Guys, remember to, when you're listening to the show, shoot us a rating, give us the 5 stars, leave a comment, all that
Yeah,
feeds the
all that
algorithm,
helps, guys. We understand it. None of us understand why, but it
but it
helps.
does.
Yeah.
Vinny, where do they get you, bud?
At Box Cutter Pazzi on Instagram, at Vinny_Paz on Twitter, jmtstore.com for Knock 'em Out the Box shirts and all Vinny Paz music related stuff. Real before we get off, hey yo, uh we updated the pound for pound. It's on the KEOTB
Mhm.
um
IG.
IG. It's on my IG and Twitter, but we have at 10 Shakur Stevenson, 9 David Benavidez, 8 Canelo Alvarez, 7 Junto Nakatani, 6 Arthur Beterbiev, 5 Dimitri Bivol, 4 Bud Crawford, 3 Bam Rodriguez. Fight announcement coming soon for him. 2 Naoya Inoue, and at number 1 Alexander Usyk. So send all your hate mail and problems
Yeah, I
about it.
really don't find this one too controversial,
People,
and
the
people still have something to
people,
say.
they were upset with the Canelo one, and I think we have him at 8, and Ring had him at 7, which sort of validates where we
Sure.
view things. Guys, look at his last 2 years / 6 fights,
Right.
including the Black Pirate Skull,
Yarr.
and you don't have any issue. You
It's
can't have any
William
issue with what he
Skull
said.
up next.
He likes, I give him the alley oop, and he yams it.
That's it.
All
All
right, we'll
right.
see y'all next week. Say goodnight, Brendan.
Good night, Billy.
Knock 'em out the box.